record button. All right, that worked. Sweet. That's functional. And chat room, you guys are cozy. Sweet. All right, here we go. It starts in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to There Will Be Dungeons. I'm Scott Johnson with Bo Schwartz, John Jagger, Kristen Ashton, and of course Kyle Ferguson. Baby Chunks along for the ride as well today. We're going to play D&D, and we're going to have some fun. Fuel yourselves while you watch us with some sweet, sweet tea from our friends at phoenixpearltea.com. I almost said Phoenix. phoenixpearltea.com /TWBD. Find all of our TWBD branded teas and use the code TWBD100 for 20% off your order. I personally like anything to do with the matcha tea selection, in particular Pixie Blush. You might like that one as well. I think
there are new flavors. Have we talked about them?
We have briefly, but it's been a while. We ought to mention one. Let's see. It'd be good if I had this up.
So the one I haven't tried it yet, but the one that I am going to try and report back on as soon as I do is the M Fighter.
It's
shit.
good.
What is M? What's the name?
You
M
created
Fighter.
it.
I forgot the
Here it
second
is.
word.
It's M Fighter Fuel Tournament Edition.
Yeah, that's the fuel. How can I forget the fuel?
Yeah,
it's what it does.
Yeah, it's a
M
double
Fighter Fuel Tournament Edition.
Yep.
It has a warning, kind of not a real warning label, but it's like chock full of caffeine.
Oh yeah, big time.
I'm trying to reduce my caffeine intake, so one of these days I'm gonna crack that open, like next week in the morning, and have a cupful. It's the tournament edition, so you know it's for professionals. It's the one you want. You don't want the regular kind.
Yeah,
that's right.
This formula is distilled to enhance D&D performance to perfection.
Yep. And even if you're not a tea fan, you might be blown away by this stuff. Mind Flayer's Delight, also very good. A caramel Rubios herbal tea. All right, enough about that. It is time for us to dive back into what happened last time on There Will Be Dungeons. And the person we have doing that is always Kristen. So, Kristen, take it away.
Last time on There Will Be Dungeons, it was a terrifying trek to the tavern. Stealth, though, stood strong, peeling them past pest after pest until corpses and carnage gave way to a grand gaze. The Golden Sands. Guardedly, they gave ground. Empty. They then dove downstairs in pursuit of a particular passage. Recently replaced with bunches of blowies, Varel vocalized his vicinity. Bok Bok burst out and bounded to the bosom of his buddy, bawling. Angelashi also appeared, though much more moderately, now noticeably natal. With the city sunk, there was no time to tarry. Nash sped through his spell until a mental message delayed their departure. Nobieri had come with a curious collection of creatures, the elves. Varel demanded departure, sick of sidetracks, but Stanley stayed, seeking the sudden sounds of success. The elves were eliminating the evil with empathic electronics. They greeted Stanley and his group graciously, offering an out on their spaceship. Varel, however, remained reluctant when a cry came out. Carthax was killing and the bombs were busts. This was what Varel was waiting for, a proof of his power to these people. Varel took to take Carthax down with Stanley, Nash, Squirts, and Melgor. Towering atop torn tieflings, the terror taunted the tryhards. Varel ran at the repulsive ransacker, battering him with blow after blow alongside his allies. Yet daring do is not without destruction. Disintegrate beams blasted Squirts and Melgor back to the beyond. As baby chunks fell to the floor, Varel, Stanley, and Nash fiercely fought, bringing Carthax to bend. Bok Bok delivered dynamite into the demon's diaphragm as Varel punched peace poppers into a peeper. The explosion ended the enemy's emotions, finishing the fight. Stanley pushed a puke out of the power to bring Bok Bok back, and the trio took to the ship short too, wary of what now waits. But before the beckoning birth, we return to the rueful rails of Hope and her rapscallions, Bloodskunk, Dr. Spider, and Mysterious Business. Will they manage to make it to Tabachu? Will Tabachu even agree to lease the location of the Looker? And once wagered, where will they wind up? Stay tuned for today's adventure following the fearsome feats and bruising beats of the Hell Squad.
Well done as always. All right, Bo, it's on you.
Hope. Dr. Spider. Nope, not muted.
No, you're fine. Pause. Sorry, it was a long pause.
Thanks for enhancing it. Hope, Dr. Spider, Mysterious Business, and Blood Skunk Hendrickson appear through a portal. Its gray-purple cloud of mist forms when the portal opens with it, like formed by it, and the four of you walk into the open air of Sigil. The portal summarily closes behind you quickly with a and you can smell the smell of acrid sulfurous air from blacksmiths hammering at their anvils. Wing, wing, wing. You hear far out the sound of chatter, although no one's in your direct vicinity, the sound of chatter and conversation, the din of mercantilism resonates audibly all around you. You're in an unremarkable street in the city of Sigil. There are houses along either side. In the distance, you can see a more market-like area. The roadways are made of cobblestone. And you're in a quaint sort of neighborhood. Medieval houses line either way.
Hope will look around to see if she can find any taxis.
Sorry, there's a dog barking like crazy here, and I didn't know what it was over my headphones. I had to check. What was it you said?
Hope's gonna look around and see if she can find a taxi or a rickshaw.
Okay. You scan not the horizon, but you look down either the left side or right side of the street and see nothing. There isn't a soul out walking on this road.
Right. Hope will look back at the companions and go, well, I guess we walk a bit. Unless any of you know where Tabachu is.
I have no idea, says Blood Skunk Hendrickson.
Cool. Well, I guess we'll just start walking down the road then.
All right. Do you want to head on the northern road or the southern road?
Let's go north.
Okay. So you begin making your way, walking casually down the road. Are you walking along the side of the cobblestone or in the middle of the road?
It would be on a sidewalk.
Yeah. Okay. There's no real sidewalk, but you can.
Walking in the middle of the road counts as an evil act.
It doesn't count as an evil act, but it's notably more badass to just walk in the middle of the road than to politely walk on the side to allow possible horses and carriages by. I'm just wondering what your preference is.
Hope would start on the sidewalk.
Okay. And everyone else, do you follow Hope's lead in walking on the sidewalk, or are you the more badass version and walking the road?
I will follow her lead, for sure.
Okay. I see Dr. Spider nodding.
Yeah, I'll follow behind. Not worried about sidewalk or street, really.
In a gaggle of three or single file?
I mean, I would think
I just
it would
need to know how this picture of you guys walking in a quaint neighborhood, like three demons politely walking one after the other on the side.
I mean, it would be a spider in a lab coat with the full backpack, the baby X1 Celesta pack with the golden child floating around inside of it, a big nose Hansel coming down to basically a minigun, walking down the street here.
Yeah, I would be all in my leathers walking behind him. I think in a straight line would make the most sense to make us look both the most badass and probably conspicuous as well. I'm sure people are noticing.
Sirius is walking to the side, a little behind and to the side. He'll be in the road.
Okay, perfect. So it's almost the Beatles walk, except Sirius is off to the side in the middle of the road. Okay, perfect. So you make your way down the road in almost single file. And as you make your way down, you come across an intersection. It's quaint. There's a crosswalk to the other side. Again, the houses are all quiet, and you look down left and right and forward and don't see anyone in their front yard.
Well, it's pretty quiet, and Hope will continue north.
Okay.
Should it not be? We can make it loud.
No, I was just, there aren't any people here.
I believe this is what's called, in practical terms, a civilian neighborhood. Lots of weak, profitable, perhaps, day job types.
Perhaps we should follow the sound of the blacksmiths plying their trade.
Yes, Hope. Do forgive the transgression, but where are we heading?
We have to find Tabachu, but I was never here in Sigil. So I don't know which way to go.
She's new here. What does the cow think? Mysterious George, pipe in.
Well, I think that if we're gonna be all new in town, we're gonna need to have a guide. I say we knock on a couple doors and grab ourselves a couple of escorts. Get someone who knows the land.
It's a good idea. I like blacksmith first. If they don't know anything, then we grab someone and have them take us to Tabachu.
The perfect plan. Lead the way.
Hope will look a little confused. And what would I roll to walk the direction of the blacksmith sound?
Don't need to roll a direct. Oh, you want to isolate where it is? Okay. Perception, please.
Oh, nice. 24.
Okay, so you stop a moment. You hold a hand up to shush the party members and listen, and you hear that it's coming from the direction where the market buildings that you sort of see, they're taller out in the horizon, in the direction you chose to go. So continuing north, it won't be long before you get to that part of town.
All right, and then Hope will keep going north.
All right, so the four of you cross the crosswalk in single file. Mysterious just a little off, and if any fan artists want to do a Beatles cover of this team, just picture that now, and walking across a cobblestone road, one at a time, one after the other. A tiefling, a demonistic tiefling, a clown demon, a spider demon, and a minotaur in a business suit.
Is anyone barefooted? Does anyone have no shoes on? Probably the spider, right?
Mysterious doesn't wear shoes.
Oh, you don't?
Oh, yeah, no
Okay.
shoes.
He's got hooves.
All right, then you're the Paul, or yeah, you're the Paul of this scenario. You have no shoes on, and so rumors will go around that you have died. And in all our music, if you play it backwards, it'll say Paul is dead. Deep cut. If you're an '80s kid, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Deep cut. Deep cut. Sorry, Bo. Go ahead.
It's okay. No, we have to make time for those deep cuts.
Yeah.
Now you moved across the crosswalk. This moment has passed. Snapshot captured forever in time through our conversation. And you move down the road a little bit further, and Hope you see in the periphery as you're scanning for movement. There's a human gentleman in some like breeches up to his knees and in a loose medieval shirt, right? Cloth jerkin of some kind perhaps, and he's raking the lawn. And you see he's an older gentleman with a crop of white hair and a bit of a beard, stubble on his face. And he's humming a tune.
There's one. Let's ask him.
Yeah.
Mysterious is gonna go stomping over to him.
Okay, because you're stomping, the guy stops his, he's like, And he looks up and he looks around and towards you. And, and as he's stomping over, he goes, "Howdy, neighbor."
I'm gonna try and grab him by his head.
Oh. Okay, grapple?
Yeah.
Okay, he sees you coming and he sees the intent, so we're gonna have to do an initiative roll first for this.
Okay.
The rest of the party can join in if they wish. They can decline.
It's 15 for Styrius.
Okay. Anyone else joining in this altercation?
No. I'll
It
stand.
won't last long.
Stand back with my arms folded and stare ahead and watch.
I just want to know if anyone wants to be in. Okay, cool. You go first, Stanley. So make your grapple roll. If that's your action.
All right.
You may have multiple attempts available to you.
Is that an athletics or?
So it will be. It's a contest, but grapple, you can use the attack action, and you can replace an attack with a grapple attempt. So if you have extra attacks, you can attempt several grapples.
Okay, so I roll it like an unarmed strike then.
No, you're gonna roll it like a contest. So you're gonna add your athletics to it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. It's just that it uses up your attack action, not your whole action.
Okay, it's a 14.
Okay. So you walk up to this guy who has a rake in his hand. He begins to lift up the rake, and you kind of just knock it out of his hand. This goes flying, and you grab him by his head. You now have this late-aged man's head in your hands.
All right, I drag him back over to Hope.
Hey, what are you doing, neighbor? What's the meaning of this?
Neighbor.
Put him in front of Hope. Just turn him around. Set him there.
Thank you, Styrius. Tabachu Fleur. Do you know where he is? The district, whatever that district was.
I'm sorry, Missy. Tabachu who? What's the meaning of this? What?
I'm gonna give him a little bop on the head.
Okay. Attack roll, please. Is it non-lethal or lethal, by the way?
He's not smart enough to know the difference. He's just gonna bop him.
I just need to know for accidental killings or not. It would
be accidental, but I say go with it.
It's a lethal attack? Okay. That's all I want to know.
He just doesn't know how strong he is. He's just gonna bop him.
Okay.
It was 11 to hit him.
Okay, it's a hit. You do 1 plus your strength to him.
That's 5 damage.
Okay. You bop him on the head, and there's this loud crack, and he goes, "Ah!" And he starts yelling out in the quiet neighborhood, "Ah!" And then you hear like a bucket fall over inside of a house nearby.
You give him a little shake. Look, just answer the question.
I don't think he might know, Styrius.
Perhaps we could have just asked him.
I am asking him.
In a way less violent.
Shake him a little bit more.
Please, unhand me. I don't know what you want from me.
Look, I'm extremely good at getting information. This is how it's done. You give him a little bop, you give him a little shake, and you ask him questions.
Mr. Minotaur, I'm in a lot of pain.
You're gonna be in a lot more. You don't answer questions.
Please put me down, neighbor, and we can talk. I'm sure we can sort this out.
Me holding you is not preventing you from speaking.
I don't know anything, I swear.
Shake him a little bit more.
Hear a voice from the yard. Hey, you there! What are you doing with Charles?
We need to find out where Tabachu Fleur is. Which direction?
There's another human out there and similarly dressed. He's going, you don't come into a neighborhood and start shaking people up, asking for directions. That's rude. I'm gonna call the harmonium. Oi! Oi! He starts calling the harmonium.
Let's get out of here.
The authorities might know the location of our prey.
The authorities might want to hurt us after what just happened.
What happened? We're asking him a question. He's not answering it. Hey, do you think maybe your buddy back there knows where we can find Tabachu?
And from behind you hear, young man, you want to hand that man at once. And then you turn around, there's an old lady now with a cane just moving out of the house, dragging one leg. Young man, that's quite enough.
My shadow begins to ink away from the body and slide over to a position near them and manifests as a shadow version of Styrius standing next to these people. I can
We
ask
should-
all of them at the same time if you want.
I don't think they know anything serious.
Intimidation roll, please.
That's a 16.
The guy. So you're this projection of yourself. It appeared behind both of them, both the old lady and the man yelling from his house.
Whichever one was probably the man, the first
Okay.
guy.
All right. So the man reacts, feeling a chill. He looks behind and sees he can see this, right? There's a apparition.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Bill, you're on your own!" And he goes back into his house and slams the door shut. The old lady approaches up. You feel a tap on your shoulder. You feel the cane hitting your arm. Young man, put Bill down.
Let's go, guys.
I thought his name was Charles.
Charles, it's Bill. And he hits you with the cane.
Who, me?
Hope's gonna
No.
start
Oh.
walking away.
He's hitting Sirius.
Okay.
Do you know where we can find Tabachu floor?
She takes it into question and he goes, "Young man, I'm not giving you anything you want when you treat people like that. You get out of here
flick
now!"
Right in the face with a big old minotaur finger.
Hope
Okay,
will
this
stop
isn't
and watch.
Is this for damage or is it
Oh
just a
yeah,
flick?
absolutely. It would be.
Make an attack roll.
I mean, unless they're secretly super powerful.
Make an attack
not,
roll.
It's not good. It's 9.
It's 9.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it's enough to hurt an old lady. So 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage to her face.
All right, you crush her nose inside of her skull.
Jeez.
She goes, ah! She collapses to the ground. Help! And more doors begin opening. Hey, what's going on there? Hey, what's the meaning of this? I don't know. Charles is in trouble. And you hear people starting to exit from their homes.
Hope these people don't seem to know anything.
No, they don't. We should leave.
Hope's glad you
Thank
got
you
there.
for asking, though.
Sirius is going to start walking away, still holding Charles, and then kind of maybe realize it a little bit halfway down the street, and then just let him go and keep walking.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so well, thankfully you haven't killed anybody, so that's good so far. You begin walking away from the scene as you know the rest of the people of this neighborhood begin coming out and rushing to the aid of the old lady and to Charles as you guys hurriedly continue walking down the road.
It is my opinion, Hope, that there should be no witnesses.
Pharrell, I think if we kill anybody, this will just grow bigger than we can contain.
Who's Varel?
I thought I said that.
Who's this Pharrell you speak of?
Hope will go wide-eyed for a little bit. It's no one. Dr. Spider, I don't think that's a good decision. This could go
Very
well
well.
beyond all of us.
Very well.
All right, so the party continues on down the road, and you continue making your way with much more speed because of the altercation that just occurred to an area of town that the buildings get taller, more mercantile as it gets closer. And you see that there's this alley, and it's filled with blacksmiths, and you see that there are blacksmiths working at various stands. The heat from forges and the sound of metal clanging against anvils bring, ring out in the air. There are stalls as far as the eye can see, and customers now, a lot of customers in this area perusing the metal wares of each of these vendors. And you realize that you're in some sort of hub for blacksmiths. It may not be the only one in Sigil, but it definitely looks like a well-trafficked one.
Cool. Would I remember what the name of the area the Tabachu was in?
Well, there is the Great Bazaar, but this doesn't
Right.
seem like the Great Bazaar to you.
No, because the frog.
Oh,
vendor-
do you remember where Tabachu was? Yes.
Yeah,
the
because
the
Hope
hive.
was there. The hive.
Yeah, the
Okay.
hive. Yeah, it was explained to you. You would
Yeah.
remember that.
All right. So Hope's gonna go up to the first blacksmith she finds.
Hey, you want me to interrogate this guy for you?
We don't need to interrogate him. We just need to ask. The hive. Do you know where it is?
I just saying that to the first blacksmith or first person that you see?
First blacksmith.
Okay. Perfect. So there's one particular very oiled, a man with like sort of charred, blackened skin from years seemingly at the forge. His skin like caramel, and he's sweating his brow, sweating his bald head, and he's got his leather apron on. And as you approach, he looks up to speak to you. He says, "Right, what can I help you with?" And you ask your question. The hive.
Yeah. I need to know what direction to go.
Oh, love, it's a ways off. How you planning on getting there? Walking?
Rickshaw, taxi, some way.
Right, well, if you want a rickshaw, you can go up to the square and get one. But, it's a complicated city. I wouldn't want to confuse you by giving you the wrong directions. Just ask the rickshaw driver where he is.
Cool, hope will nod, and then she'll take off to the square if that direction was
Can I interest you in any armament? Seems like your friends, they might like a useful weapon or two.
Did you all want anything?
What is available?
I've got swords here. We make the finest swords in all of Sigil.
Do you have jagged, pointed arrows and bows with which to knock them with?
You're looking for a Fletcher. Although I do make arrows. Bow I can't help you with, but if you're seeking something a little barbarous in the form of arrow, I might be able to have something. What were you looking for?
At this point, anything that will shred those I aim it toward.
Well, let the DM look at the list of items available. I mean, I did offer, right?
Whatever it takes to rend
Are you looking for anything in particular?
Flesh-rending, barbaric pointed arrows.
Flesh rending.
Yes, rend the flesh of my enemies and those who stand in the way of my patron here, Hope.
Another question, just for Scott, though, out of character. Do you have any money?
Yeah.
That was a fair question. I just looked because I thought that same thing. I have 5 gold.
Actually, I don't remember. Hold on. My inventory says... Where's other possessions? I guess I don't have any gold.
It's under equipment, up near the top, currency.
Yeah, I have 0.
I paid you 10 gold as a cut of all the organs from last time.
Oh. Well, then I'm going to put that I have 10 gold. And I'm going to add that. I now have 10 gold that I would like to spend some of. Although, okay, so our trip here meant when we got here, we lose all our weapons, right? Wasn't that part of the deal? Or not?
What? No.
Didn't we lose them?
Stuff.
Oh, well then...
The first time you came here in a bad way the first time you came here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You came here through regular ass portal. You're good.
Okay, so...
I mean, we've been in a fight. You might have used some of your equipment, but we'll still have
I still have 300 plus arrows. So maybe I don't need
You
them
have
right
300 arrows?
Yeah.
How much does it weigh?
Sorry, 400 minus...
That they have a weight. You have a weight limit.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
just dragging a bag of arrows.
Currently,
currently, wow, where it's invisible. If you have 400 arrows, you have a sack of arrows.
even with those 400 arrows, I am carrying 154 pounds and I am unencumbered, so I'm okay.
Okay.
But I also used 3 of these arrows, so I'm doing that
This is
now.
requiring a check. I won't be able to move on until I verify this.
You can totally look.
153.
153.85 pounds, unencumbered. It says.
Yeah, you're carrying 20 pounds in arrows.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how many, like you have a giant sack of arrows on your back.
Yeah. A ton of arrows.
Yeah, like,
so I'm not gonna ask any. For some reason, I was thinking we had stuff confiscated, but we didn't.
So yeah, but just to be clear, you don't have any magical containers, so whatever you carry has to go somewhere physically on you. So you have a massive backpack of arrows.
Yeah, but unencumbered it shouldn't matter, right? In battle, because you're not going to.
It's not an encumbrance thing. It's just you look ridiculous.
You have like a Donkey Kong barrel of arrows on your back.
You have 400 arrows on your back. I'm just saying. I mean, maybe some in your pockets. I'm sure you've got compartments with that many arrows.
Y'all are patronizing the clown demon for how he looks.
I'm not patronizing him. I just want it to be clear what we're all imagining here.
Yeah, I'm stacked. I'm stacked with arrows. I'm stacked with arrows.
I feel like NPCs will be distracted by the fact that there's some clown wearing 400 arrows.
He's like a Rob Liefeld drawing, but instead of pouches, it's arrows. Where there would be a pouch.
Like around my arms, you'll have slots for multiple arrows. Like shink, 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 shink.
Call them blood skunk and not arrow man.
I don't even think. What's funny is I think it defaulted that for when I made him.
Okay, it's fine. You know what? I'm not paid. I'm getting a lot of amusement out of this little fact of your character. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I'm distracted.
It's totally fine. I came prepared. Let's say it that way. So I don't really need this guy for anything. I like the sound of your wares, but perhaps later.
Because see, if I would have known you had 400 arrows in the pack, when you asked them, do you have any arrows? My NPC might have responded, I think you got enough arrows on your backpack anyway. You see why this is important? Perhaps you'd like to sell some to me. I see you've got a mighty pouch of arrows on your back.
You can never have too many. So if you're a source for these, in case I go through all 395 of the rest of them, I'll
take a dozen for. I'll give you 1 gold for a dozen. So good, right?
That's such a total shit. It's not bad. Hold on a minute. These are worth 20 gold per. Let's see, where is it?
They're not worth 20 gold per arrow.
Hold on. Cost gold.
The whole bundle.
Oh, the whole bundle
is.
Gold. Yeah. So yes, 12 arrows for how much gold?
1 gold.
2, and it's a deal.
That's too rich of a price. You'll make me broke, eh?
Well, then F off, and I'll turn around and go the other way.
He mutters to himself, serves me right for dealing with clown. He goes back.
Watch your
clang,
tongue,
clang.
Common man. You don't
We'll
want
head to the square.
You don't want any of these arrows piercing your petty skin.
The blacksmith looks up at you and thinks better of it and is the wiser and more mature of the two of you and just shakes his head and moves back to hammering on his anvil.
I go.
The blade that he's working on.
I just go. And I turn the other way and follow up.
Okay. All right. The 4 of you make it to the square, and as you can see in this part of Sigil, for whatever reason, there's a small little market hub that probably serves the suburban sort of area that this place seems to be. In the middle is a great fountain. There are large buildings, and this cobblestone ground opens up to a larger square. There are fruit vendors here, different vendors of various types. A lot of activity going on in one of the buildings. Seems like there's some sort of lecture happening. And there's a few rickshaw drivers having conversation over by a cafe. There's a human, and one of them is a lizard folk with a rainbow fin. With whom's name I can't think of at the moment. But
Yeah.
anyways.
And Hope wouldn't know him anyway.
No, that's true.
Hope will go over and say, we need a rickshaw.
Okay, the human looks to you and he says, right then, I can take you. Where you going?
We, and Hope will not motion to the 3 others, need to get to the hive. Need to go see
To
Tabachu.
the hive. Oh, Lord, that's... All right, it's going to be a long journey from here. It's going to be 15 gold pieces, please. I'll take the payments up front, considering your companions.
What do you mean by that, crack?
I mean, nothing by it. It's the hive. It's not exactly the world's safest place, and you don't look like the safest beings I've met today.
You've got that right. Do not cross us.
I have his name as Bungor.
Bungor.
The rainbow frill. I may have written it down wrong.
Yeah, you're not talking to Bungor. You're talking to the human.
Oh, okay.
And I'm actually trying to find the name too because I forgot to note it down and I'm drawing a blank. So also as part of this is what is it called again? Frick.
Bungor, rickshaw driver, lizard, rainbow frill.
Not
So I think that's what it is.
Oh, there we go. I have the right notes here. Right, Fambo Joe is the main guy. That's the name I was remembering, but that's not right. God freaking. Oh, it is Bungor. Okay, well done.
Good job, John. You were right.
Good job, John.
Yeah, well done.
I couldn't remember Bungor.
I take subpar notes.
Yeah. So what'll it be, Mess?
Who has 15 gold?
Very well, I shall pony up.
And I pass over 15 gold.
Okay. Perfect. He looks at the gold, takes it, and he nods. All right, then, get in.
All right, hope we'll start getting in.
All right, so this particular rickshaw driver, he's wearing, shorter shorts. He's got a tank top on, but it's medieval style tank top, so it's got like frilly things on it. And he's got a solid pair of moccasins that are running, not moccasins, but running shoes. They look kind of got pointy, like almost like, like gnome shoes, how they're sort of pointed up in the bit, or witch's shoes. His shoes are pointed up a bit, but they look like sport kind of shoes, but made of leather. You guys all get into the seats. It's a crowded fit, so I don't know who's sitting next to who, but is there any contemplation that you want to have for that?
No, just I'm gonna have to take the giant, massive greatsword off my back and maybe set it on the floor? I don't know. I set it somewhere that makes sense.
You can hold it in your hand like this while you ride.
Okay.
The worst case, right?
Well, yeah, I'd have to hold it by the blade. It's big. It's bigger than a man.
Okay, so it's like a sail on a boat, the way you're holding it, maybe. That would be...
Sticking straight up.
Yeah. Unless you just wanted to let it drag.
No.
All right, so the rickshaw driver takes off as you guys just try to figure this out and don't. You pick whatever seat's available and you're off. And next thing you know, you're spinning past these houses of Sigil, all sorts of people out raking their lawn, having little backyard barbecues, a family of gnomes. And the older gnome is reading these little gnomes a story. There's sort of two elves sitting on a bench in their backyard watching the fountain just shoot water out. And it's this very idyllic, very scenic area. And very soon, this cloud of smog begins forming. It gets thicker and thicker. And as you can see in the horizon, you begin approaching this depressed area of the inner sphere where it's dark. And it's almost like the neighborhood's circular. You can kind of see it as it, from a distance, as you ride towards it, you can see it rise up into the horizon. So you see this round, dilapidated, rundown part of Sigil. You get a full sort of almost aerial view of it as you get closer and closer to it. An hour goes by and you begin approaching this part of town. There's almost this like sudden change in the health of even the houses, where the houses just become a little more oily and a little more dirty. And as you get to this outskirt, you can see in the distance there's a harmonium guard standing at the entrance to the hive. And the rickshaw driver slows down a bit and says, "Are you going to be able to get past the checkpoint?"
There's gotta be a way in without one of those gods.
We have our ways.
I mean, really, they don't look like that much if they wanted to try and stop us.
No, but if you want to move about freely in town, it's better to stay on their good side. So you don't have a way through. Now, I just so happen to have a writ to get through here, which I don't like to use unless I have to.
Let's pretend you have to.
All right, well, let's also pretend that there's some trouble associated with using such, and as we live in a world of commerce, that should be compensated. 50 gold, perhaps.
50 gold. That sounds like a ripoff. How's about 20? Bloodskunk always looking for a deal.
35 gold.
25, no more.
All right.
I'll look to the spider. You're the only one with enough gold.
I just wheel and dealed somebody else's gold.
I cut the deal
I
down
guess
for
you're
you.
evil, so that's fair.
Very well. In service of hope.
All right, perfect. So, Dr. Spider, you hand over the gold pieces, and he counts them up, puts them in his pants, in like a slender little pocket in his pants, where you can kind of see gold jutting out around the butt cheek. And, you know, just like he's got this butt, but then there's like clearly gold coins on the butt cheek. So then he turns around and he fishes a piece of paper out of his shorts again. And then he trots up to the harmonium guard, and the harmonium guard go, "Oh, you there! Slow down!" And then the rickshaw driver moves up closer, and he says, "Don't worry, I've got authorization to service in the hive." And he shows his writ up to it. And there's 3 knights here. 2 of them are on horseback. Actually, all 3 of them have horses, but one of them is off. And the one that's off, he's got a crop of very curly brown hair. He's got lots of zits and freckles, but not a lot of facial hair on his face. He's wearing shiny silver and gold armor with the harmonium emblem blazed atop it. And he moves towards the letter, and he looks at it, and he goes, "Let's see if everything's in order here." Then he looks over at the cast of characters in the rickshaw seat. He goes, "How well do you know these people?" And the rickshaw driver responds. He goes, "They're just my clients. I don't know them at all." He looks and he goes, "That's what I thought." And the guard, his armor clanging on the ground and crunching under the cobblestone stones, the little tiny ones, moves up to you guys and he goes, "What business you have in the hive?"
It's where we're from.
Deception check, please.
12.
There are all kinds in Sigil, but I don't recall coming across too many spiders with legs and who wear strange white coat, or clowns carrying hundreds upon hundreds of arrows in its bag. And what manner of dress this Minotaur is wearing is also a confusing thing for me. You sure you're not here to make trouble?
Why would we be here to make trouble?
Because you're from the hive. I've been paying attention to the things you're saying. And I'm not stupid. What business you have in the hive?
We're here to see Tabachu.
Whoa! That's a bit too honest, isn't it?
How many arrows would it take for you to turn around and go the other way?
The harmonium guards look at each other. They pause a minute, and he looks at you again, Hope, ignoring Bloodskunk completely. He goes, "Go on through." And he taps the wheel with the sword. The sword's still in the scabbard, but he just kind of taps it. Bunk, bunk. And the rickshaw driver immediately starts moving. He looks back and he says, "That was a close one." You proceed into the hive. And as you make your way into this new area, you recall, Hope, that it is run down, dilapidated. Even as you move through in the third set of alleyways, as you peer down, you see two hooded figures shanking another person right in the alleyway, and you hear the screams of ah, like pain and calling out already. And you move down, you see like on this block there is a large, like sitting on a step, and they seem to be drinking out of some kind of glass containers. These big like big pot-bellied winged demons just all hanging out, like 12 of them on a set of stairs, just drinking weird liquid. And they go woo 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 as you guys rickshaw past very quickly, but they're definitely an obnoxious pile of looking demons. You make your way to the center of the hive, and you're in that familiar stretch of town, just where Tabachu's is, where the buildings are the most run down, but the most largest. And buildings seem to grow out of other buildings in this area. It's unmistakable, that feeling of just how surprising it is to find alleyways when you look in unexpected places, and then buildings where you don't expect to see them. And as you disembark from the rickshaw driver and he takes off unceremoniously, you find that you're left alone in this part of town. Now, there are some groups of people, and it is daylight still. So, you're getting the odd glances. If you like, there's two dwarves hanging out in a street corner, and they're talking, but you can kind of see like they're looking over at you. And over on the other side, there's a hooded figure. And you can't see that hooded figure's eyes, but he's clocking what you're doing.
Cool. Well, I guess we'll just head straight to Tabachu's.
Okay. So you find the alley where you were introduced once before. You make your way down and arrive at a steel door with a slit in it that you remember could be opened from the inside.
Hope we'll knock.
What is it?
We're here to see Tabachu.
What's the password?
Hope goes quiet and just rolls her eyes. I don't remember.
The slit opens up, and a pair of orc eyes peer at you. Who are you then?
My name is Hope.
Wait 1 minute. And the slit closes. Boom. The door opens. And the orc opens it up and motions for you to get inside.
All right.
Come on in.
Hope will look back and nod at the three. Then we walk in.
No questions. And he moves you in. Waves you to come in.
Okay.
All right, and as the party enters in to this main room, it's just right into a stairwell that goes down. The orc closes the door and locks it behind you. And he leans on the door as you catch him with the corner of your eye and crosses his arms and leans up against the door. Now you hear the sounds of music immediately and smoke just as you enter the stairwell. And you hear and as you descend into this area, it's this large, underground, medieval looking bar area. Everything's wood or stained like green, and like there's a lot of wood, a lot of booths, a lot of different people, rogues and the unsavory types of Sigil all seem to be here, and it's a packed place. There's the bar is packed, all the booth areas are packed, and there's even some people with chairs just sitting out on the floor. And it was a sight you weren't expecting. Tabachu is now up in full dragon form, but fitting into this area, so he's not quite standing up. He's got to lean his head in around. But in his fingers is this massive instrument. It looks like an electric guitar. You've seen these on Earth before. And he's sitting there and he's playing. And he's doing a performance for the whole cantina where he's playing the electric guitar. And there's a little band set up next on the main dance floor. And they're playing along with him with the drums. He's going. And as the musical number ends, and his solo is like electrifying, he hits this last note. Then the whole room gets silent, and Tabachu, who's wearing sunglasses, he lowers his head down, the sunglasses slide down a bit, and his dragon eyes look towards the entrance. And then everybody in the audience, their head moves and looks in your direction. And the whole place is now looking at the four of you. Tabachu, Epuche andine batado. Come in. And then he takes one hand off of his guitar and motions for you to enter further into Tabachu's.
Cool. Hope we'll move further in.
I'll follow.
All right. As a couple of orcs come out as Tabachu takes off his electric guitar and gives it to the orcs. And the orcs, this is a huge guitar, so it takes two of them to lift it. They start ushering it out of the cantina. All of these faces and eyes, some more in shadow than others, some intense, follow you as you step into this bar area and into this open area. So you got Tabachu. He has a couch, a big dragonly couch, and he's up on a stage. If you picture sort of a nightclub or a bar where they might have a stage or some kind of an arena, that's sort of he's on display for everyone. And he beckons you to stand before him, where there's a grated floor that you remember from last time. There's a grated floor. So do you move onto the grated floor, or do you attempt to move or stand in a place that isn't the floor? Keep in mind the entirety of the place is watching you.
Yeah, no, hope I'll stand on the graded floor.
Okay, so the party moves with purpose to the center before Tabachu. Tabachu has motion for you to come in, and he then flaps his wings a bit, get himself comfortable, seems to stretch his neck and his arms, and then he just throws himself onto the couch. And there's almost a shake of the ground as he gets comfortable and just lays on the couch. What do they call it when a dog lies down, like open belly or whatever? You know, he's just splayed on the couch. With one leg over the back of the couch, the other leg dangling off. The wings are everywhere, and his dragon head looks around, moves, and then moves towards you. And he says, "Okay, appendide." And the rock golem that you're familiar with turns to you and says, "Tabachu Fleur welcomes you back, Hope." The room becomes silent. And then you hear a small, diminutive voice say, "Sure ain't all that. Is that what 50 million gold pieces is for, then?" And then this small, scrawny-looking man pushes out from the crowd, and he looks up at Tabachu and he says, "Is this all you're wanting for 50 million gold pieces? I'll kill the last now." And he takes out a knife. Shing! And he begins walking towards you. And he's like, "Me and my boys, we'll get you her head there." And then more shifty-looking creatures. One is an elf. One is a lizard folk. There's another gnome. They begin sort of stepping out from the crowd with knives drawn. And they're all wearing these black leathers. And they sort of move into the center area and surround the party in a circle.
Sirius pulls out the big sword and readies it.
Okay. And Tabachu looks upon and he says, "Impedebi," and he waves his hand. And then the rock golem turns to you and he says, "Tabachu will allow this." So this leader, the skinny, red-headed human, black leathers with a knife, he twirls it in his fingers like he's sort of playing with it, and he goes, "So they're saying that you're worth 50 million, but I just see a scared little girl."
I might be worth more later. Tabachu, I've come for an eye. I need a location.
Tabachu's not listening to you, love. Now you gotta deal with me. Pelvis. Me and my boys here.
Why is that so funny? Pelvis. Oh.
Are you sure this is the day you want to die?
Ooh. She's asking me if this is the day I'm sure I want to die. Starts laughing. The day that I'm scared of a little girl and her clown friends is the day that Asmodeus himself sticks a poker in my butt. Sorry, I was going to go with I went with butt, and I said, yeah, but. So that happened.
We can arrange that. And then Hope will give a nod to Sirius. Basically, unleash. Have fun.
All right, the shadow separates. A second image of Sirius appears flanking on the other side of Hope. He starts moving to stand between this pelvis fellow and Hope.
Blood Skunk Hendrickson will draw a single arrow out of his massive collection of arrows, like almost like a single straw out of a giant stack of straws. And I will pull it down with my bow and ready it in a very menacing way and breathe raggedly as I do it.
Dr. Spider starts turning knobs on his celestial launcher, beep, 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 doo, 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 doo.
He looks at you guys all getting ready and he says, you got a lot of big toys there, but they're no substitute for a sharpened blade. And I guarantee you, if it's not mine that's going to find you, it'll be one of theirs. And he looks out into the crowd and he sees that whoever he has under his thumb has come out to face you on this area above, this graded platform that you're on top, clearly on top of. But there are a lot of other menacing eyes and faces of all kinds of different rogues and tricksters and thieves and just the absolute worst that Sigil has to offer, all kind of looking at you.
You brought a little toothpick to this fight. And as for Asmodeus, we work for him. He prefers the name Brent, but you'll get to know that because I can arrange a meeting. You're gonna be seeing him real soon.
Okay, that's an intimidation roll, or at least a contest, I think.
It's a 12.
Okay. The skinny human laughs. He goes, you think you're gonna scare me with all that tough talk? I'm friends with Asmodeus. He sort of does jazz hands for the entire crowd. And the crowd of rogues, there's a small little but it's everyone doing it, so it's unnerving that the entire room just goes all right there, lass, time to say your prayers. And he points the knife out and he begins approaching you with it threateningly but slowly, and he's bringing it up to your neck.
Sirius wouldn't let him get that close. He'd take a full swing right for the midsection
All
as
right.
soon as he started advancing.
Mm-hmm. Let's start with the initiative roll.
All right.
But he'd do it very slowly with an initiative of 9.
Okay. Well, it's better than his.
Hold on. I forgot what my modifier is. +8.
Actually, okay. Actually, leave it for now. I want to see what happens here. You get the first act. So, Stanley, you're up first.
All right, I'm going to recklessly strike at the fellow.
Are you in your rage?
Yeah. Let's go into a rage. Why not? I'm gonna go into a bestial rage, and a giant scorpion-style tail will burst from my back, and
A scorpion tail. Oh yeah.
Scorpion tail.
Okay.
And will swing at him with a 24 to hit.
Okay.
First strike. Is that good? Do I roll damage?
Yep, that's an attack. It's a hit. Yeah, you can roll
All right,
damage.
that's 14 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And then bring it back and take another swing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be an 18 to hit.
Okay. That's a hit as well, please.
All right. That's going to be 8 additional slashing damage.
Mm-hmm.
And what are my bonus actions? Do I have bonus actions? Oh no, going into my rage was my bonus action. So yep, that'll be it.
Okay, perfect. So you swing the sword out recklessly, not caring what you're going to cut. And the blade, with its heft, swings out and slices this man in half. So, and right as he's sliced in half, you can see the spinal cord, like, just sort of fluid squirt out of it as the top half of his body flies up in the air. And he registers a look of surprise on his face. It's his last living look, as he's like... and he shoots up into the air. His torso shoots up in the air, lands splat on the ground, and then the blood drips beneath the grate, and you hear like licking happening underneath the grate almost immediately, like, and the whole room pauses here, and quickly the remaining of his crew decide to slink back in the shadows while one of them grabs one of them quickly like darts towards this man's torso, and another one darts towards the legs, and they drag them back into the crowd. Tabachu laughs, and the Rock does not feel the need to interpret it for you. Do timpe and bute. And the Rock Golem turns to you, Hope, and says, Tabachu wishes you to know that that this was quite impressive.
Hope will nod as a thank you.
Please state the reason that you are here to Tabachu.
There is an eye that matches a hand, and I need to know where this eye is.
Tabachu raises his hand. Impeche! Impeche! The Rock Golem stands up, addresses the room. Tabachu wishes to have private counsel with his guest. If you are not a member of Hope's entourage, please leave the premises now, or face the consequences. And after a moment of sort of pause, as all these menacing individuals look at each other, they quickly do as bidded and begin making their way towards the exit, including the barkeep, everyone. Jalver, who was leaning up against the side, also retires into a door off to the side. Within 10 seconds, the room is vacated quickly, and you hear the sound of the door leading up to the street shut. Ka-boom! The room darkens somewhat, and the glow of the club seems to ebb away. And you're just now sort of in this darkened area where there's glow. Tabachu looks at you and says, In pece et ire unce. And the Rock Golem then turns and says, Tabachu wishes you to know that this will hurt a little. And then Tabachu's hands raise up in like white embers as he begins casting a spell. And his arms move around. He says, In pede oche, understand me. And he says these words, and this energy sort of shoots out from his hands and envelops the four of you. And as the magic envelops, he takes another hand like a conductor, and he twirls it like this. And as he twirls it like this, eddies of mystical energy begin swirling all around you into a cube. And this cube grows out and expands like light, and it encompasses you, the like the four of you, Tabachu, and the Rock Golem. There. Now they will not hear us. You can understand him perfectly, seemingly. The rock golem looks to you and says, I will now excuse myself. And it transforms into a benign rock. Boonk.
The eye.
You have loose lips, little one. You would do to be more careful about the questions you ask in public company.
I don't think any of us know what the hell we're dealing with. And yet it's a secret?
Have you not discussed with your new master what it is that you must do?
Find an eye.
Yes. I have a question for you before we begin. You must answer mine before I will answer yours. When I sent you for this item, why did you not return it to me? Why do you wear it now?
It was lost. We lost the fight at the top of the tower. The demons were coming, then there were paladins. And the demons were gonna get it, so I decided it would be better if I had it.
That cost me quite a bit of money. That was to be delivered to a client of mine. Did that not matter to you? The idea of returning to Earth?
I don't think that matters now.
And now that you are part of a larger story, what role do you want to play?
Well, that's yet to be decided, isn't it?
This answer is unsatisfying. You are not speaking truth to me. Why did you take the arm? And what do you hope to accomplish with it?
I took it because it was the best option. You ain't gonna get it either way.
The best option for what?
What, the demons have it and do who knows what with it?
So you took an object of interminable evil and placed it upon your arm in the defense of all that is good.
We were all almost dead. I was trying to protect my friends.
And what do your henchmen think of your alignment?
Well, and hope will turn back.
Our dedication to Hope is purely based upon a contract, which says, protect her at all costs. So it doesn't matter what you say or do or wonder or ask.
And should Hope wish for you to save orphans from a burning building, Harlequinari, do you obey your command then?
I would. Speaking of orphans, I turn to the side and go, I'm pulling a little bit of an ash here. I really like the taste of grape, but instead I will bring forth this ape, and I will summon an ape next to me about the size of a gorilla. Bwah! And I do that by conjuring or using conjure animals at level 3. And there is now an ape there ready to do my bidding and to fight you if need be.
You summon face spirits, okay.
It's also intended to intimidate, by the way.
So you're just doing one beast of a challenge rating 2 or lower? That's
yeah, so I'm doing it's a half challenge, or one half. It's an ape. I could have gone with. It says
then you can summon 2 if they're You can summon 4 if they're that. Apes are 1/2, so you can get up to 4.
Oh wait, I thought I could only do up to 1.
It's plurals. It's summon conjure animals, so you can't if it's one beast of channel level 2
or lower. Half or low. Oh, 4 beasts. Oh, you're right.
So
all right.
It's more if they're weaker. It's up to you though. You can just summon 1 if you want.
Can I do them over time? Do I have to do them all at once if I decide to do 4?
You got to do them all at once. It costs an action. They appear.
Okay. I turn to the other side, and I say, "There's no water here, where we must float. So instead, I will conjure this angry goat." And now there's a goat next to me on this side going, "Meh!" Like a big pissed off goat.
Wait, did you cast it twice or you just?
No, I'm just saying words every time one of them pops. So I got an ape over here, a goat over here. In nature, fierce enemies, but today they fight for me. Actually, I don't know if they're enemies in real life. And then I just a little bit ahead and left of me, I say, "My work here is with this permanent smile," because I'm a clown. "Now witness this sweet crocodile." And now there's a great big crocodile out front on the left side. Okay. And then over on this side, "Perhaps you'd like a cuddly beagle, but instead you contend with this giant eagle." And now there's a giant eagle. So I've got a giant eagle, a goat, and it's going, "Pah! And over here you got...
Have we used up your budget yet?
Yeah, that's all 4. That's 4 of them. 4 half beasts.
Okay. Oh, they're all in there. All right.
Yeah, they're all in there. So we got an ape. We got a crocodile.
It's a giant goat.
Giant goat.
Where's the eagle?
Oh, he's down on the 1. Sorry. I screwed up on the eagle.
Yeah.
I misread.
I'll let it slide this time.
All right, we'll say it's just kind of a 3/4 eagle. He's not full giant. Yeah.
So can I just... There's an eagle, a giant goat,
yeah,
and an ape.
Yep, just listed as APE, ape. And then a... Crocodile.
Okay, so you conjure these animals, and Tabachu looks at the conjuration very briefly, and he looks back to you, Hope, and he says, "I see." And he says it in such a way as that he knows what the intelligence level of your companions are, basically. That's the...
Oh, that's what he means?
Yeah.
Okay. I should note that was intended to intimidate, but I don't know if you want me to roll intimidation or not.
Oh yeah, you can roll intimidation if you like.
All right.
You want to intimidate this dragon with a bunch of farm animals?
I want to intimidate this dragon with all these farm animals, if I'm able. All right, here we go. That would be an 18.
Yeah, doesn't work.
Okay, that's what I
thought. Pretty high difficulty class for that one, sir. Tabachu looks back at you and he says, I have erected an area of magic diffusion so that no one can eavesdrop upon our conversation. You may speak freely of what you wish for. There is no one better suited to help another in all of Sigil but the great Tabachu Fleur.
I need to find this eye. I need to write what happened on Earth. I need to make sure my friends are okay.
So it is vengeance you are after?
Yes.
It is a weak, mortal emotion. You will get your vengeance, but it will leave you hollow. If you insist upon this path, however, I may be able to help you, but I am not confident you have the character to see it through. I can point you in the direction of the eye, but I cannot give information to a little girl who is looking to save the world. I'm looking for someone who has loftier goals. Are you sure that that is all you wish to tell the great Tabachu Fleur?
Well, I guess if I become a god along the way, then so be it.
Modesty does not suit you. Let me suggest that you tell people that you will be a god and you will make their lives worse or better or however it is a being of its own nature is. Do you know your nature? Do you know if you had the power of a god what you would do with it? His voice booms out.
Yes.
And you will tell Tabachu, or you will get nothing.
I would kill every single person who'd ever wronged me. I would help others kill every single person who'd ever wronged them.
I see. Well, it is not my way, but there are powers in creation who are fueled by their hatred and their need to right that balance that never quite balances. I have knowledge of where you may begin your search, but I did not become the powerful lord that I am by giving away information for nothing. You want power? You must promise power to me in return.
What kind of power would you need?
Have you not imagined what the dragon who has everything could possibly want?
A stuffed animal? Someone who loves him?
I'm good with balloons.
Take this seriously, young one. The beings you will encounter on your journey to achieve this will not all have a sense of humor.
Well, fine. What is it you would want? As you said yourself, you have everything.
For one who travels the plains, you have so much to learn, especially about dragons. You should talk to your scaled friend and ask him about the truth of many things that you do not know. I came to Sigil when once a great sadness plagued my soul. I came here not in my natural form, but in the form of a man. My brethren mocked and did not understand my sadness. I thought that the ways of dragonkind were silly, wasteful. They collect treasures and hoard them in mountains and in crypts and in the darkest places of creation. They are foolish. Once I came to Sigil and saw the way that the mortal men exploit one another for riches, I thought surely someone competent enough at the kinds of games that they play with one another could have all the treasure one could want. And so here I am, in the heart of the greatest city creation has ever known, and all, whether they know it or not, bow to me. All within Sigil bow to me. but one. Do you know whom I speak of?
Well, I would assume the Lady of Pain.
Oh, there is a brain between those horns. You are exactly right. If you wish to know what I know, then you will promise me rulership of Sigil. That means as you ascend to godhood, you will have no purchase or influence here, but you will help me in removing the Lady of Pain from her perch where none can touch her. With your powers, you will assist me in helping me attain what is rightfully mine. This place that I have worked for thousands of years to come under my control. And then he snaps, he doesn't snap, he waves his fingers, whoosh, and a scroll of parchment appears floating in the air, and a quill and a feather, a feather tip quill and a bottle of ink swirl around in front of you. The page is blank. We will form the terms of our compact here. No games.
No
From
contracts.
Sorry, pardon me.
No contracts.
No contract. No eye.
Hope we'll look around for the hooded figure.
Discuss it with your counselors. There is no rush for a decision, but tarry not too long, for the Lady of Pain will be curious sooner or later about the disruption to her vision in this location. And with that, Tabachu relaxes into his chair, and he reaches one of his hands out behind him for a hookah hose. He takes it out, and he... And his eyes go cross-eyed. And he leaves you to your counsel.
Hope we'll turn around to the three.
Did we hear all of it, or were we blocked?
You heard all of it.
Okay.
The magic allowing you to understand and speak in his language affects all of you.
Okay. Why are you rather opposed to signing this contract with this being?
The hooded figure said no contracts.
Right.
It's something tied to the hand. I see him, and he talks.
Is he here now?
Hope we'll look around.
Okay. You will look around, and as you sort of dart, he never appears when you will it, but he'll always look when you look somewhere new, you notice. He'll just be there where he wasn't before. So you dart your eyes around to look for him, and sooner or later, you see him standing by the bar, but he's not leaning or interacting with any of the objects, but he's standing there, and he looks towards you. And he looks towards you, and he it's like he's waiting for you to speak. You have this sense innately that he's paying attention to you.
I'll simply, I'll nod so serious now as I see him. And I'll look at the hooded figure's direction and mentally ask if I should make a contract or not.
The eye is too important. You must find it. Agree to his compact. We will decide what to do with him later.
Okay, cool.
I like that your thought was, okay, cool. All right. Send that back to him. We'll reply.
Cool. All right, Hope will turn around, take the quill, dip it in the ink, and sign the parchment.
Okay. As you sign the parchment, Tabachu looks up and says, "We have not put we have not put terms on this paper." You run over and you sign it.
What sort of fool produces a contract without its details contained therein?
Well, my Harlequinari friend, as I stated, we would come up with the terms together.
Who's the clown now?
It is you, Harlequinari.
He didn't.
Fine. Fill it out. We follow Hope into the deepest, darkest. Do what you do.
The dragon turns to Hope and says, "Hope, I kindly request that your counselor, your Harlequinari counselor, ceases to speak for the rest of this meeting."
He can speak when he wants.
I'm sorry, I can't stop laughing about. He didn't even prove a point, but then he punctuated it like he did. Who's the fool now?
Very well. Are you ready to sign the compact? We have to put terms on it.
Yes.
Perhaps I made this more complicated than I should have.
Well, it's the first time I've done something like this.
So let us recap the agreement. He looks to you, and then he looks to the Harlequinari, and then back to the paper, and he goes, "I will provide for you the information necessary to search for the eye. I will remove the bounty upon your head so that you have safe passage in Sigil. Beyond the borders, I cannot guarantee it. In return, you will depose the Lady of Pain and ensure my ascension to power in Sigil." Agreed.
Do we all sign this or just her?
Just Hope. You have very little to do with this arrangement. You are meant to be her counsel. And I must say, you would not be my counsel for very long. Good.
I take offense at this, and I just turn around again.
He ignores you, and then he waves his hand, and then magically text appears atop of the paper, on the paper. Just you hear the sounds of writing, shh, 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 and it's like he's writing it with his mind, and the page fills up with the language that you just sort of tentatively agreed to. Does this look acceptable to you?
Hope will read over it to make sure it's still just the terms they agreed on.
Very simply put, it's the terms that we discussed. There's nothing different or unusual about what's written there, and it's not written in a dense language. It's about 6 sentences long.
Cool. Hope will sign it.
All right, and then Tabachu brings the page over. Like you sign it, and then everything floats out of your hand, and it levitates over towards him, and he takes his large fingers on the little quill and dips it in, and he goes, and he signs it, and then it floats off, and it splits into two, and then a piece of the parchment floats into where you can grab it with your hands. And do you reach out for it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so as you grab it, it ceases floating, and you now have a copy of the signed document in your hand. And he takes the second one, rolls it up, and rolls it under his couch.
Cool.
And with that, he rolls it under, and he goes, "And now for my part in the bargain. You are correct in that there is an eye. Your master is known to the cosmos. this would not be the first time that the voice has called from beyond, seeking its power. And so there are those of us among creation who remember fragments of what happened millennia before. I am not privy myself to the whereabouts of the eye, but I know who knows. And we'll tell you after the break. Boom!
Boom!
Oh, man.
Got
Boom! All right. That's perfect place to do it. We'll be back shortly, everybody, with more There Will Be Dungeons. Come on back.
He came from below.
Oh, yeah, he
and
did.
came up and he's like, I'm here.
Yeah, he kind of came up out of the...
It's like he was
weird.
working under the kitchen sink. He's like, no, I'm here.
Hello.
Just...
He's like a slide effect in like PowerPoint. It's like, slide up. That's what he did. All right, we're
was
back.
in Flynn's domain of the floor.
Ah, gotcha. We have returned.
Plane of floor.
Bo, we
babies rule.
we hand you the baton once again. Where are we?
Tabachu Fleur. Okay, Tabachu Fleur has taken the contract, has given a copy to Hope, and where did he left off? You think you were saying something funny?
He was telling us who knows.
Right. Okay. Here we go. Tabachu Fleur. And see. Now that the contract is signed, I will reveal to you the information that you seek. I know not the location of the hand, but I know of those who do. Have you heard of the Council of Clowns? And with that on clowns, he looks to you, Bloodskunk, but
Okay.
anyone can answer.
I will perk up and say, very few speak of the Council of Clowns and live. That's not a threat to you, I just mean generally they don't live. It's a cursed name.
The Council of Clowns is an unusual council. It is also in a very dangerous place. You will find it in the realm of Pandemonium. Are you familiar with the Council of Clowns?
Only cursorily, and I've never been.
Do you know the custom of the Council of Clowns?
Only one. Would you like me to describe it to you?
I do not think I'm going to like the answer of your
It's very short.
of yours. We'll send it there.
There is a great coming together. Once a millennia where many clowns together all try and fit into a very small car. And the goal is to have more than they did the last time. Often records are broken, but many times the Harlequinari leave dead in the bottom of this car. They dispose of the bodies, and we wait another millennium to try again. And when there is no car, occasionally there is a phone booth. That also
Now-
works.
In your
Why?
racial description, it actually describes how Harlequinari procreate. So if you need more info, there's a passage on it. Just FYI,
Wait,
I've covered that.
You're right. You made all that up. That's true.
Just so are you? Is
I
it just
don't-
that you don't know? Or
Do I have it in
just don't
front
want-
of me? I don't know where it is. Did you?
If you go to your character sheet,
Yeah.
and you go to Features and traits. I think you'll find the race description there.
Let me just check here. Okay.
It might be just in the flavor text of it, so maybe it's not there. It's not obvious.
Maybe just under description. Where did you? I know you put this somewhere.
The site is just crazy. Hang on. Browse races. Like, you have it as a Harlequinari. I just don't know if you can see your race business. But let me just get mine here. They actually make it hard for you to find your own homebrew. It's kind of oh, there we go. My homebrew creations. Super hard.
They make it so hard you had to say half the sentence before you found it. I got you.
Yeah. So hang on. Here it is. Oh, did I take it out? Oh. Wait, what?
Is that why I don't see it?
Yeah. Oh, okay. It was something that I thought of, but I don't think I eventually... Oh, no, here we go. Harlequinari asexual beings that procreate by choosing a partner to laugh very hard with, which at its climax creates a toy box that opens at the moment when the parents least want it to, springing forth a ring-ding of baby clowns.
Perfect.
So just for the listeners' benefit.
Yeah, that's how we procreate. That's how we make.
That's literally the race description. It's one sentence, and the second sentence is how they procreate, and that's the end of the race description. You've heard 50% of the race description.
All right.
That's why I was like, it's important. It's like 50% of the whole description. Okay. Let's get back to this. So you say to him this weird stuff.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't looks understand. To you, Hope, and he says, I do not think he will be fit representation for you at the Council of Clowns. This bizarre ritual he describes I am not familiar with.
Well, he's the clown and you're not, right?
True. Nevertheless, you will proceed to Pandemonium, seeking out the Council of Clowns. You will petition them with your motion. And if they approve of your plea or your petition, they will grant you this information. It is not something I can help you with.
How would I get to Pandemonium?
This is a good question. Direct access to Pandemonium is possible, but not advised, as it is a realm of trickery, and portals there seldom take their passengers to the precise location of their intent. You must arrive there indirectly. I know of a way, and I have passage to it. You will traverse to the Grey Waste. There you will find a small village on the coast of the River Styx. From there, you will book passage across a ferry to Pandemonium. I have a portal waiting for you now.
Then I think it's time to get going.
You may wish to rest before you embark upon this journey. You will be challenged every step of the way.
Where can we rest?
It is Sigil. There are 100 inns for you to stay at and rest your humanoid body.
Well, where do the people here stay and sleep?
At the many taverns available in Sigil.
Boo.
Do not waste my time with questions for a tour guide. Your questions are displeasuring me.
We rest and we come back tomorrow?
You do not need to come back here.
How do we
Rest
get to
yourself.
the Grey Waste?
The portal is available in the opulence quarter of Sigil. There you will find a business, the House of Delights. The impresario will guide you to the room with the portal.
All right.
When you discover the location and need assistance navigating to it, you may return to me for information, should you need it.
Thank you.
Well, I will wish you the best of luck, but now our time has come to a close, and I have many other patrons to get to. Do you have anything further for Tabachu?
No.
Okay, so Tabachu relaxes into his couch again and waves the hands down, and the field, the magical field, this box that was around you, sort of dissipates. And the light begins to come back up in the bar, and the rock golem begins forming again. And Jalver comes out from the side room and begins walking towards the front door and begins unlocking it. And patrons, one or two patrons come back in, but most have gone for the day. So, this elf in black leathers walks in, sits down at the bar. The barkeep comes back in and begins serving drinks. And Tabachu begins sighing. It's time to leave. Anything else you want to do?
No. Hope would leave and then start looking for an inn.
Come, my menagerie. And the and caw, and everything I brought with me is coming with me. Because this takes an hour. I got a whole hour of these guys, so I'm taking them with.
All right, so the four of you and all the eight of you exit Tabachu's area back into the open air. Now, just so we advance things along a little quicker, do you want to find a local inn? Do you want to find an inn in another part of town? How do you want to do the rest?
Ideally, get out of the hive and find an inn.
Okay, perfect. How much money do you guys have left for rickshawing?
Dr. Spider.
Dr. Spider
Paging Dr. Spider.
He has a lot of cash. I have 10 gold now. What do we need for a ride home?
Dr. Spider has 400 gold pieces.
Jeez. That's a gold for every arrow I have.
Where do you want to? Do you just want to find somewhere local and quick to shack up, or you said you want to leave the hive? So, there'll be some costs for the rickshaw, and you'll take a recommendation in a nice part of town. Maybe go to the opulent part of town. That way, it's nearby. Or do you want to go into somewhere else?
Do the harder leg first, so that they wake up in the morning, they're there, ready to go.
Perfect. Okay, so we're just going to advance this a little bit for the sake of brevity. All right, so you walk around. It's difficult, as per usual, to find a rickshaw driver available in the hive, but after 20, 30 minutes of walking around searching with little event, you find the rickshaw driver. Costs 10 gold, so Dr. Spider deduct the 10, and you make your way. It's another long trek across Sigil. You leave the area of the hive that's all dilapidated, and you move into, again, this sort of kind of a mercantile district, and then a district that seems like has a lot of libraries in it. I think you've been in this part of town before. And then you move closer to an area that's just past these massive graveyards. Like, you sort of end up in this open area, and then these graveyards. It's very big, and lots of hills and lots of sad looking trees, and you move past this area into an opulent area, and here all of the houses appear to be like mansions. So it's like Beverly Hills up in here. Like, you start driving down a road, and there's these large rampart walls that cut off these yards, and then distance you can see these homes in this area, big mansions. And so after running through this area for a little bit, you get to this little corner center town. It appears to have a cafe and a grocer and a general goods store and a tavern on the one side with room and board. Rickshaw driver lets you off, and the four of you get off in this part of town.
The 8 of us get off. The 8 of us. Yep.
The farm animals weren't in the rickshaw. They were probably following behind.
Okay, that's fine. All right,
yeah, so the animals are behind, and as soon as you get off, this he's not wearing any armor, but he's an official looking, type, like very ornately dressed, has a big gold chain and like a turban, but he looks stately. He's got like a badge on the type, a badge hanging off of his like left breast of his shirt there, and he walks up and he goes, excuse me, who are you? Papers, please.
What papers?
Papers showing that you're welcome in this part of town. Yes, this is a protected neighborhood, and well, we just want to know who's visiting. You have to have permission to be in this part of town, so papers, please. The usual.
You want me to bop this guy?
I feel like that would be more trouble than it's worth.
Always ready
I
to
don't
pop
want
up.
to be bopped, please. This is a civil part of town. Let's keep it above the belt.
Oh, it would have been above the belt. Believe me.
Where
I'm
would
sure
we go
that
to
makes
get out of
sense.
this?
What?
Oh, where can we go so we don't need papers?
Well, Sigil is a big city. I imagine the merchant district might be a nice place for you and your muscles. You
You
can
know
put
what?
yourselves to work and do something.
No. Where's the House of Delights?
The House of Delights? Oh! I wouldn't know what such a thing is.
No,
Imagine the nerve asking me.
serious?
It's broad. You see that it's broad daylight out, and you're asking me where a carnal house of pleasures are, and you haven't even shown me your papers yet.
We have an appointment.
Really? With who?
Well, take us there and we'll tell you.
I can't take you anywhere if I don't know who it is that you're referring to. And also, your papers, please. Do you not have
Serious?
them?
Do you want to show this guy our papers? Since he's not willing to give us the information we need to move along and clear the streets.
It would be my pleasure. I take the giant sword. Is this guy a human?
Yeah.
It's about the size of him. And I slam it down in the ground in front of me. Hey, here's my papers. Do you want to hold them? I can get it a lot closer if you want a deeper look.
I roll an intimidation roll because you're intimidating. So let's give it either roll.
Oh, it's so bad. That's an 8.
Wow.
Okay, he doesn't appear very scared, but you still have an imposing presence, and he still looks at you and your sword, and he goes, I understand, sir. Let me check your papers. And he looks at the sword a bit, and he goes, looks like everything's in order here. I'm just gonna be on my way since you've got your papers. There's no reason for me to be asking you about your papers. And he fixes his turban. None at all. I've got to go. And he hurries off.
Thank you. And then we'll go into the inn.
All right. So you make your way into the inn, and it's quiet. There's like nobody in this place. There's nobody. You walk in, and there's nobody. There's tables and chairs. There's a bar. There's stairs heading up to a second floor, and you see doors up on the second floor. You don't see or hear anybody as you walk in.
Hello?
Just a minute. You hear someone from the back, and the door opens. Yes. Can I help you? It's an elf woman who has walked from the back, and she has made her way to the front.
Yes, the 4 of us need a room.
And will you be taking a pleasure suite or the executive suite or just one of our regular rooms?
A regular room. Make
Very
that
good.
2 regular rooms. As
2.
Hope looks back at the giant spider
There's 4 of you. We have a
scorpion
rule.
tail.
we have a rule here in this part of town: no more than one patron per room, unless you are a couple. Is one of these men your husband?
Yes. And she'll stand next to Sirius very awkwardly. And those two are together. And she'll nod to the spider.
So it's 2 rooms for 2 pardon me, I am so sorry. What must you think of me? Right, so 2 rooms for 2 couples. Understood.
Do you have room in this place for livestock?
No, you can keep your livestock in the in the gated off area in the back.
I've a better plan. And I go back to the door, and I kick it open, and I say, "Be free, my fey wildlings. You've served me well. Go, flee. Caw-caw, caw-caw." They all just leave and go different directions. Because
okay then.
I don't need them now.
You may be hearing from the constable about your loose animals in this part of town.
Let them complain till they're blue in the face. I don't care.
Yes. You know what? I just realized that we're booked for the day. Very sorry. I had totally forgotten, but we have a tour group coming in to see some of...
She's making this up.
Yes, I agree.
Wait, what?
You're making this up. You're lying.
No, how dare you? I'm not lying.
Would you really like to lie to the 4 of us?
What is it about us you have a problem with?
You know what? She's sort of frozen, caught it's sort of between like a rock and a hard place.
Sirius leans way down to be nose to nose with her, and he goes, "Surely you can do something. Them's two's on their honeymoon. You wouldn't want to disappoint them."
No, you're right, of course. It just occurred to me that I was thinking of tomorrow's bookings, not today's. What's today? It's Lamb's Day, isn't it? Yes, it's Lamb's Day. It's not... Okay. Very good. Then today you may stay. We have rooms available for you. The rate for each room per night is 3 gold. Do you have that kind of coin?
We do.
Dr. Spider?
Dr. Spider has deep pockets.
I appreciate your all's use of my skills, but might I speak with you in a bit of privacy, please?
Sure. And Hope will walk over to Dr. Spider.
Pardon us, and I'll bow as I back up and go into the corner of the room with Hope.
Your malpractice needs work, frankly. Your liege.
What malpractice?
Well, I appreciate your draw to the evil inclinations, but you will find that upsetting the constable outside, threatening the innkeep will only lead to our assassinations in our sleep.
So, what should I have done?
We
need a place to sleep.
That is true. That is very true. And why don't we find a nice... Oh, excuse me, Star Child. One moment, please. There are neighborhoods, fine houses that may be procured for the night with a bit of finesse that we might stay in with very little harassment.
So, would you suggest we leave now and do that, or stay on our course?
Well...
We already have you and your fiancé a nice room.
Yes, and as delightful as a night with Blood Skunk appears to be, I feel we are in some danger here in this particular mercantile establishment. And we could easily procure a fine domicile with a little, with a little supply gather on the side, if you catch my meaning.
Okay. Well, you find us this domicile then.
Oh, it need not be found. We can go anywhere we please. Merely, yes, Darkchild, we will be together soon. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Let us tour the town and find a nice, quiet abode in which to ransack for our evening.
Okay.
right,
Let's
Kyle.
try that approach then.
All right.
Well, Dr. Spider, where would you suggest we go?
Come this way, please. Thank you for your hospitality, but we have no need of your many booked rooms for this evening.
Oh, thank Palo. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes, thank you, Paylor, and the good graces of him and all his many
Yes,
beams of
indeed.
light.
Yes, you're a good chap.
Thank you. Goodbye now.
Okay, so you exit back into this open sort of square. Like there's these large, mansion-like places, and this area just seems to be like a hut for the commerce of these large houses. You do spy out of the corner of your mouth, or corner of your eye, not mouth. That
I don't know.
words, they're hard. So out of the corner of your eye, you see the turban, the man with the turban, and he seems to be speaking to two harmonium guards pretty far off into the distance. But you definitely know that he's going to cause trouble, and you have that instinct immediately to move out of the direction. So he's kind of to the right, leading north out of the town. So if you move east, you're sort of out of his vision, blocked by buildings, and moving along if you choose to do that.
Okay. I would
Dr.
assume
Spider,
that's what
or-
Dr. Spider would.
You're kind of leading the way a bit. How do you want to go about finding the appropriate house to ransack?
I will use my... Let's see here. I would like to use my investigation. Basically start heading down the street, and I'm looking for, an apartment of decent size that appears to be being unlocked at the moment.
All right, your roll, please. And if someone can help him, if they aid him, he'll get advantage on his roll.
And what are we aiding him in? Perception?
Looking for a house to ransack. So you don't need to do anything. You just need to declare that you're helping him. It's investigate.
I'll help him.
Yeah.
If you have the skill. Sorry.
Well, that's what I'm asking. What skill are we using?
Oh, gotcha.
What
So
skill?
skilled, you would have a black dot if you were skilled in something, I think, next to investigation.
Oh, okay. So investigation.
Does anyone have that?
I have... No, I do not. I have perception.
All right.
Perception I do. I do not. With
Forget it. I don't know why I made that big rigmarole. Let's
somebody
go
else
with the
might.
roll.
21.
All right, 21 it is. All right, so you begin to quickly follow Dr. Spider as he hurriedly moves on all of his feet, scanning the horizon to see which houses might be best suited. And in particular, it isn't long before you come across, let's say, the third house from this little center area. You spy it and you notice that there appears to be some scrolls of parchment just in front of the gate leading into the building. And as you peer into the building, not the building, but as you peer past the gate towards the home, you notice that there's some garbage left strewn about the front area of the house. This seems like a good spot, and your instinct tells you that no one's living here currently or hasn't been there for a while.
Perfect. I will take us around to the back entrance and hold the door open.
Okay.
Your volume thing went way down again, by the way. I don't know what changed. You're down to almost nothing again. Something.
All right. So what I did hear what his instructions were, which was to take people in through the gate. As you move towards the gate, you find that the gate is locked. However, Dr. Spider could easily climb over it. Dr. Spider looks towards you, Hope, and waits for direction.
Does anyone know how to pick a lock? Or is it, could the gate be climbed over?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this gate stands about 10 feet tall. It doesn't have any barbed wires or anything like that. There's some spikes at the top of this front gate, but the walls themselves are also climbable around it. Not just the gate.
I could try picking that lock.
Go for it.
Wait, is my volume good, by the way?
Yeah. Yes.
Much better.
Okay, good. Before I go yelling and talking. No. Oh, dear me. This man cannot pick a lock. He would break down the gate. Please, if we may, step over the gate, perhaps? Or maybe take your time?
You want me to pick the lock slowly?
You can't pick locks, can you?
I can get through locked doors.
Yes, that is what I was getting at. Let us perhaps boost, undercover, quietly.
You want me to throw people over the gate?
Yes, please.
Okay, I can do that. And get ready for hoisting people over the gate.
All right, 3 athletic rolls, please.
Okay.
Athletic roll number 1. I'm gonna just start rolling dice. This dice roller is not doing any favors.
I spider climb over the gate.
Okay, before you can grab Dr. Spider, he's quick.
Ooh,
he scurries over.
That's creepy.
Okay, fair.
You're down to
fair
2 rolls now.
Okay. Roll.
And it's going to be disadvantage for Scott because he has 400 arrows.
But they're not encumbering at all.
All right,
Yeah,
we'll call
but
this.
it's heavier for him.
We'll call this the hope one. It's a 23.
Okay. No disadvantage. I'm just teasing. It's fine.
Just for fun, let me see what happens. I'll try it. Oh.
Well, no, you don't have to do it. You're
I
getting
have
thrown
to
over.
Oh, I'm getting thrown over either way.
Oh, even better for Dr. Spider. I got a natural 20.
Oh, he's already over.
28.
He
total.
climbed.
He's already
Or,
over.
I'm sorry for Blood Skunk.
Oh.
Okay.
Perfect.
So you pick up Hope and very easily with one hand fling her over. And Hope, make an athletics roll, please. Skill check.
Cool. 23.
All right, you land safely on your feet. He throws you wildly, so you're flailing a bit as you go, whoa, and then you get your balance, right yourself, and land on your feet. Then Asterius comes up to you, Blood Skunk, and grabs you with both hands, and just, that kind of pass in basketball where you push this kind of pass.
Yeah, like a quick pass.
You kind of take him and just fire him into the air. And Nash, you're now floating over the gate. And you have to make an athletics skill check to land on your feet.
11.
What was the roll, the base roll?
It was a 9 and a 1 because I have a +1 to athletics.
I was hoping you rolled a 1 for some reason.
Yeah. The other way around.
All right, so you get thrown over, but you don't land on your feet. You land face first, spread eagle on the ground with a big sack of arrows on your back. Boom.
All right.
It's really heavy, and as you pull yourself up, there's an imprint of you in the ground where you landed.
Is the imprint of my face? Is it in the form of a big smile, like a ridiculous clown smile?
Yes,
Okay.
that's exactly how you imagine it.
All right, good.
All right, you lift yourself up the ground. Asterius, how are you getting over?
I'm going to back up about 20 feet and do a goring rush into the gate.
Into the gate?
Yeah, to smash through it.
Okay, athletics check, please. This is going to be hard, by the way.
Okay, it's not an attack to bash the gate down.
You can attack it, but it'll take several attacks to hack your way through it.
Oh, okay.
Like
Alright.
it depends what you want to try and do.
I'm not even kidding. I rolled another natural 20 on the athletics check.
Okay, what's the overall check, please?
28.
All right, so do you scrape the ground with your hooves too before running?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you walk in a circle a bit?
I don't know about that, but he definitely does the amp up.
You amp yourself up. You scratch the ground with your foot, and then you just take off. You go from 0 to 100 in a second, and you burst through it doesn't burst the gate open, but you burst through it and bend the metal so quickly with your horns and your head goring it that you bend open a hole, and you're now sort of stuck with your head through it, and you can climb the rest of the way now. Now you have to be careful; it's going to rip your business suit.
That's fine. It'll repair itself overnight.
Okay, let's make a dexterity saving throw on your way home or on your way through.
It's a 12.
All right, so you rip in two places. Large rips happen in your business suit, and now they can see sort of your raw cow hide through on your back and on your legs. All right, you made it through, and there's a house. It's very ornate. It has 3 floors. Looks like it has all kinds of rooms. There's a big window, but it's darkened, and steps leading up to a front door with a ornate ivory border.
Fancy.
Well, do we just walk in? Dr. Spider?
Yes. Allow me. And I will walk over to the darkened window, cast light inside so I can see the interior of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse my baby. And I will cast Nurse Wilkins, the unseen servant, to unlock the door from the other side.
Like from the back door, you mean? To head in?
Viewing through the window into the entranceway into the main.
Oh, she's ethereal, so it can move through the glass, essentially.
Exactly. Well, and I cast her on the other side of the glass, as it were, where
perfect.
I can see.
All right, so you cast her in.
Servant.
And does she have to make a roll to be unlocked? Oh no, she can unlock the door from the inside, presumably if the mechanism allows for that to happen. All right, so you cast the unseen servant inside, and you see she wears a hat, right?
Well, the hat was material, so she wouldn't have her hat with her.
She wouldn't have her hat. Okay, so you don't see anything, but you know that the spell is cast, and then a few moments goes by, and you hear it click, click, and the door opens, but nothing's on the other side. It goes on the inside. Oh, go ahead.
In, everyone in.
All right, so the 4 of you begin making your way in, and a waft of just decrepit smell enters your nostrils. Oh, stench of something rotten.
Something has died here.
Hope nods.
That is not going to be a problem. Please, everyone inside, quickly.
Okay, everyone gets in. You close the door behind them?
Yes.
All right, perfect. As you close the door behind them, you notice that most of the shades and curtains are open in this place. And as the light spills in, you notice that it's a well-kept place with lots of very beautiful wooden and marble furniture everywhere. It's a gorgeous place, well-kept, but dusty.
Now isn't this delightful, everyone? Nurse Wilkins, if you could please, get to tidying up a bit, and she can light fires, clean, fetch things, fold clothes, serve food, pour wine, as well as any other command I give that a normal servant could do.
Perfect.
What about the windows?
Well, within 2 minutes, as he says these words, the curtains one by one seem to shut on their own somehow, just like shink, 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 and then there's a little spark near the fireplace, and the fire roars. And then you hear some pots and pans moving around in the kitchen, and as you peer towards the back of the house, you see that pots and pans are kind of floating to this wooden table that's meant for chopping vegetables, and then carrots and radishes and are being peeled by this knife that begins floating around. They're getting put into the pot, and you just see something invisible preparing food from your vantage point at the front door to the kitchen.
Now, due to that delightful smell, I would have to assume there's a poor dead soul in here, so let us tidy up a bit further.
And I will crank my radiant hose down to the bottom level to cast prestidigitation, and kind of like a leaf blower, I just start cleaning up the area.
All right, and you start cleaning up the area. All the dust begins going away. The place begins smelling better with each prestidigitate pulse that you do from your gun.
Hendrik, Perhaps it's a job for you, Hope. There is surely an old dead soul in here. Could you locate them, please, while I tidy up?
Yes. Blood Skunk, would you come with?
By all means, and I'll deep bow and then follow her.
Okay. So in this house, it's what you would think of a medieval opulent mansion. Has a nice dining area, has this entertaining room that's living room style. There's a kitchen area. It's not one of the richest places, so it's not a kind of place that would have servants or a lot of servants. And there's a passage, there's a door that you assume is leading down to a basement, just judging by the look. If there's a red door, and then there's a stairwell that moves along a wall in the front entrance that leads up to the second floor.
All right. Let's try upstairs.
Okay. And as you move to the second floor and move up the stairs, you begin to be able to see what's on the balcony of that floor. And you see that there's 2 suits of plate armor set up against the back of the wall. There's a passage to the left and right, and you see that they head down to the various bedrooms of the second floor. The stairs continue on to a third floor.
Let's start with the second floor, starting left, and then going around.
All right. For expediency's sake, you begin exploring all of the rooms. Most of the doors are ajar in here. They weren't closed. As you look in, you see the various chambers of different people, and everything looks very well kept. But you find nobody on the second floor. However, you do notice that where the stairwell is, the scent is strongest.
Okay, so back to the stairwell and then up to level 3.
All right, and you continue your way up to the third floor, and the third floor is a little different. There's a large foyer here, and basically there's this open area where there's like a breakfast table. Looks like sort of a lounge that's open up, has a lot of windows, and then onto the other side of the stairwell there's a door, the double door actually. It's wood, and the smell is strongest from up here.
All right, Blood Skunk. Shall we open the door?
With all haste, and I'll do the honors and open the door.
You rush open the door, and a blast of just disgusting decay smell just launches into your nose. Constitution save for the 2 of you, please.
All right. Oh, I forget what mine is.
15.
Hold on. Oh, +2. That's better than nothing. All right. Here we go. 22. Oh, that's a nat 20.
Right. Nice. Well, you both save from having to throw up. Scott or Blood Skunk, you will not throw up for the next hour due to your awesome roll.
All right.
As you open up the door, you see that this is a large opulent room. It has all kinds of animals, like taxidermist style, up on the walls. There's a massive bookshelf and a study table, like an office desk. This is just an opulent room of someone very wealthy. The thing that has your attention the most is hanging from a rafter in the ceiling is a rotten, bloated corpse. It's fat and it's naked.
Just how I like it.
Do you say that?
No, I say, I'll say, my queen with my single clown eye. Oh, no, I have 2 eyes. I'm thinking of Nash. I spy on the wall a fat, naked man, a corpse. I only know he's a man because, look, behold his doodle. Shall I tear it?
He honks his nose after.
Shall I cut it down?
Please.
All right, I'll get up there and cut it down with my. Is it hanging bow from like rope?
It's hanging from a rafter up top. The ceiling is exposed. There's not a closed ceiling, so you see rafters all along the top, and the rope he's tied to is hanging off one of them.
I'd like to actually shoot.
There's a chair lying on its side.
Oh, okay.
Underneath his feet.
So like this looks like a suicide. I'm gonna try to shoot the rope with an arrow rather than climb up there.
Roll, please.
All right. 15.
All right, you hit the rope, and it frays, and it doesn't rip completely, so it doesn't look as cool as you hope it would because the roll is not that high. It cuts it to the side, and roll your damage dice, please.
All right.
Sorry,
Whoops.
forgot the damage dice bar.
Wrong one. Jeez Louises. All right. Damage dice is not working when the page froze up. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Now I got to remember what I hit for. Okay, 1d8 plus 3.
Waste that arrow.
1d8 plus 3. Hold on a second. Plus 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's a total of 9 damage.
Okay, so the rope splits in half, and the body hits the ground with a wet thud, and the blood sort of squirts out from a weaker part where the flesh is, and it's this goop of blood just goes.
Ew.
That's the floor.
Gross. All right.
Yeah.
It's like black, thick, and coagulated, but still liquid.
Would you like me to investigate the body?
That or Dr. Spider might want to look at it.
That's a good point.
We could check the room, see if there are any notes or anything.
Grand idea. All right, so I'll look around and see what I can see.
All right, investigation roll, please.
Okay. That would be a 12.
And I got a 14.
You guys look around and you find that this particular gentleman was in life a fan of military history. Most of the books on the bookshelf have titles that suggest tales of old battles from places you've never heard of. There's nothing unusual about the room. There's nothing that you find that's strange about any of the stuffed animals on the walls. Mostly wildlife animals, things of nature, nothing crazy in here. There's some notes. There's a few love letters that you find in the desk drawer, but they look old and aged, to someone called Marianne. And doesn't appear to be any suicide note, however. And yeah, I mean, there's all the kind of random stuff you might find in a place like this: clothes, office, parchment, not office, ink and quills, parchment. That's about it. Personal artifacts, like little emblems and seals and things of that nature in a collection in a drawer.
Not much here, my queen.
No, I say we go back down.
After you. And I bow deeply and wave toward the door.
Two of you return to the main floor, and Dr. Spider and the unseen servant are still hard at work cleaning and preparing the place.
It looked like it was a suicide on the 3rd floor.
Oh, they have the best stories. Good. The guest of honor for tonight's dinner. Milkins, dress him, please, if you could. And, fancy him up a bit? Thank you, dear.
What do you want me to do?
I send my unseen servant upstairs to dress him, prestidigitate him, clean the body, and bring it downstairs.
Okay, perfect. So,
if you would like to speed through the master plan of Dr. Spider, he pulls out a chair for each one of you individually. Dinner is served, and he casts Speak with Dead and enjoys a delightful meal, listening to the many stories of this fine gentleman.
okay, so we're not going to roleplay this whole event then, okay? Because it's meant just to be a stopping off point so you get your long rest in before you guys will have the longest amount of time between the point where you start going like, damn it, when's the last time we've long rested? Because message received from our last episode.
It's been a while.
Yeah. All right. So Dr. Spider entertains the three of you with the questions he asks using Speak with Dead of this corpse. Things such as, what kind of questions might you ask?
Like the most biggest open-ended questions I can. So, tell me about your job and what you do. And this love of yours, tell me of them. What a delightful story it must be. And just let the corpse rant away and enjoy a cup of tea when it's all over. And then take from his pocket the keys and go around and put each person in a room at night and close their door. And good night, good night.
Okay, perfect. And just for everyone's imagination, the ghost, not the ghost, but the person's name was Davies Reese, and he was an accountant, and his family around him were slowly taken by various diseases, and he was lonely. and he felt unfulfilled, and he decided life wasn't really worth living, and he took his own life. And so that's the entertaining tales he's telling. So I'm not sure if everyone finds them as equally as entertaining as
And Dr. Spider puts down his glass and claps a little bit and says, "Delightful. Good, such diseases. Ah, I remember diseases."
All right, and so everyone long rest your characters.
Okay.
Awesome.
Oh my lord. Oh. Confirm.
All right, and so everyone finds a place here to sleep. Dr. Spider, where's your preferred sleeping place? Like, you're the expert on this, it seems.
Oh, I take the master bedroom. I make a real mess of it, webbing up the joint, and blankets hanging from the rafters by strands and all that business.
All right, and Bloodskunk, where do you sleep?
Curled up fetal style on the floor, anywhere, doesn't matter where.
Okay.
With a grin on my face.
Where does a Minotaur sleep in a place like this?
Asterius would just take whatever room is near Hope. That's his charge to guard, so he would need to be nearby, but he sleeps like a person. He's
the kind of person, I almost picture him sleeping on a chair by Hope's room rather than in a bed. Is that right?
No, he goes to bed. He folds his suit, calls it a day, puts the sword up against the wall, lays down. He rests, but
okay,
he makes sure that he's up bright and early before the person he's looking after, and he goes to bed after them.
All right, and Hope, you're going to take one of the bedrooms. All right, perfect. So you all sleep soundly, get your long rest in. And the morning comes quick. Everyone wakes up pretty early, eager to get the day on, but none earlier than Styrius. And with everyone awake, I imagine Dr. Spider will also perform a similar ritual for the morning breakfast with the food remaining in the house. So that occurs, and there's an entertaining breakfast to be had. And we're now all seated at the dining table in the dining room. With what kind of breakfast would you make? Eggs?
Well, whatever's freshest. So, probably some sausages that were hanging in the kitchens and using up the last of the vegetables that may have survived till this time.
All right. So Dr. Spider's prepared a hearty breakfast for your long trek ahead of you. Any discussion about the day's events now occurs as the sun begins to shine through the curtains. Little slivers of sunlight shine into the house.
Did everyone
Dr.
sleep
Spider...
well?
Yes?
Good. Wasn't this delightful? More delightful than some dreary old inn and being assassinated in the night, perhaps?
You bring up... This was great. But I've realized going forward, the reaction that men had to the place we have to go to, I don't think we'll find it easily. Especially not with the way we all look. But we need to find it nonetheless.
Are you suggesting that our kind wouldn't enjoy some cardinal pleasures? I assure you, that is not the case. Just because we lay in a corner doesn't mean we don't enjoy the time we've had together.
I wasn't suggesting... No, I was saying people might be less inclined to tell us about it. Or to even admit that they know what it is.
I see. So you wish to formulate a plan, then?
Yes. But we also need to look like we belong here. Otherwise, they might find us again. Because that man was talking to the honorarium, or whatever they're called. Honorium.
Well, we have the opportunity to dress as accountants, if that would please you, here in this house.
Yes.
I have no such magics that could bear us hence in such a way.
Styrius sits up and adjusts his suit, shows that... And the suit's taking care of itself, no more holes. It's looking good this morning.
It looks
professional.
Interesting. Yes. And then Hope will look at Blood skunk. I think we might need to find you some clothes.
These leathers I wear this day are desired among all my people. But fine, I'll wear what you want.
Dr. Spider, would you dress everyone?
Of course. Nurse Wilkins, and I will recast Unseen Servant. We are on parade today. Let us fetch this poor man's clothes, who was left in the chair overnight, and dress up. Yes? And perhaps a fine hat for myself.
Okay. Hope, are you partaking in clothes, or are we just fixing Blood Skunk?
Hope will use her necklace to change into a human.
Okay. Perfect.
Not that,
That is, for our listeners' reminder, that necklace is...
Necklace of infinite appearances.
A necklace of infinite appearances. And you can cast it at will to alter self. Perfect. So you're now a human. All right, I have to write that down. Any distinguishing traits?
Clothing as well?
It doesn't link to the thing, right? So let me just look up alter self real quick. I believe so. I believe it's like a magical illusion.
Okay.
It's an illusion.
It's an illusion. You assume a different form. When you cast a spell, you have the following options. The effects of which last for duration. Change appearance. You decide what you look like, including your height, weight, facial features, sound of your voice, hair length, coloration, distinguishing characteristics. So no, this is about changing your appearance. Doesn't sound like it changes your clothes.
Ooh.
That seems weird, though. What?
Well, would it just be her? Well, that makes sense, because what if you made, if you made a
Yeah,
pig
it
look
is
like a
all true.
dog, but you still have to decide what it's wearing?
Yeah, you still have your clothes. Yeah. It doesn't mention. It says sound of your voice, hair, weight, facial, like everything, but it doesn't say. It's you that's changing magically, not what you're wearing.
Okay, cool. So Hope will go
I'm
find...
not 100% on that, but yeah. It
Cool.
doesn't say clothes.
Yeah, that's totally fine. So Hope will go find a dress in the house and then alter her body to fit whatever would fit best within that dress size.
Are you pulling a Cloud Strife?
What?
Well, you're changing your appearance and then dressing up like you're human, and you're like gussying up to like look the part. Am I understanding that right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay. I mean, how much effort? Are you just finding whatever, or are you actually try harding? Because you have been a queen before, so you have the ability to go hard in the paint, so to speak.
Yeah. Okay, so she would want to look for an outfit that's modest but not too modest, because they're looking for a house of ill repute. So
Okay.
she would want people to question if she's a lady of ill repute or not.
Gotcha. So something a little more on the racy side.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you go to look through the drawers and closets of this ill-fated man, you realize that this person's wife must have died some time ago and had not had the heart to part with any of the clothes. However, a lot of what's available are not very trendy frocks. More of the housewife persuasion.
Okay.
So think, a little more. It's definitely modest stuff, even though it looks expensive.
Is there a muumuu with like a hole in a
Expensive, but
sheet
modest.
kind of thing? Just like a hole right in the middle, and that's it? Anything
I
like
mean,
that?
it's medieval fare. We're not talking earth fashions here, so we're talking frocks.
Okay.
Okay, in that case, Hope will go with an old lady.
Okay. So you alter your appearance to be a bit older. And, the frocks are quality made. There's nothing racy about any of them, or ill repute looking about any of it.
Cool.
All right. So you take on the appearance of an old lady wearing an expensive but very modest frock. Dr. Spider, you found the hat you want?
Of course.
Yeah, what kind of hat is it? Fedora? Beret?
I was picturing a fedora, yes.
Yeah. This is the kind of man that might have a fedora that he bought thinking he'd wear it a lot more than he did. So it's just kind of sitting in the closet?
Tri-corner, if not available.
Okay.
And this is all in character. Having a conversation with the closet as he goes.
I don't know what a tricorner is.
Like a tricorn hat. Like the
Oh, tricorn. I was looking for corner. Okay. There's no tricorn here. That's a very distinct look. Not one for an accountant. You do find a top hat, though, with a feather in it. Not a top hat, but, a fedora. A fedora, yeah.
Lovely, and I'll take a vest to match.
Okay, there's a vest in there. You find it. It's modest, but pinstripe.
Beautiful.
Matches well with the other clothes.
Old 3-piece Spider-Man.
And for you, Blood Skunk.
And what are we dressing Blood Skunk in?
Oh, he's all like clown complexion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real patchy,
The,
though.
the original white guy.
Yeah. But patchy and, like, gross kind of. It's not.
Or an actual white guy.
Yeah. It's not like perfect paint. And it's not even paint. It's skin tone, but it's real blotchy.
All right. Well, we'll do what we can with him.
All right. Do you want to give him like something, more reflective of a magistrate, which would be more robe-like?
Sure.
With flowing pants and sort of frilly top, like a blouse with an overcoat and a cape.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I love a good robe.
All right. So so do you get dressed how do you do dressing? Is the clothes you're wearing them, they're not part of your essence or anything, right?
I mean, I'm just going to put them on top of everything.
That's okay.
So I'm keeping the
that's
leathers
answer
underneath.
I couldn't think of that I was looking for.
Yeah.
Perfect. You put on all the clothes on top.
Yep.
You are now look like a very stuffy clown wearing like an medieval accountant suit with a giant bag of arrows on your back.
Okay.
Perfect. Are you all ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
All right. Then,
Everyone looks so lovely. Thank you. Tonight or yesterday. Now, my favorite part of this entire ordeal. Pen and paper, Miss Wilkins, thank you. And the pot from the kitchen, if you may.
Ah, yes. And I sit down at the table and write a beautiful suicide note. Just emotional, page after page. Throw it in the pot. And as we leave, I cast Wall of Fire inside the house.
Oh, you write the letter and then set it on fire?
No, I put it inside the cooking pot.
Oh, so it's safe. Perfect. Gotcha. And you light the house on fire.
Burn down the house, yes.
Great.
Okay. So Dr. Spider emerges back into the main foyer with a little bit of smoke coming up from the kitchen and says,
"It's time to go."
All right, and the party exits the house quickly. No smoke is exiting the house as you make your way back to the gate. It's easy enough to walk through where Mysterious left a hole, so everyone kind of steps into the bars and gets out onto this cobblestone road. Where would you like to go?
I guess we need... I don't want to go back to where we were because the group is very recognizable, even with the fine clothing.
Mm-hmm.
So Hope would scan the horizon and see if there's another area that looks like it has shopping or taverns.
It's hard to say. This area is dominated by a lot of 10-foot walls around houses, so it's difficult to make out whether there be a settlement or not. But you're on a path with only one direction, so if you're not going to go back towards that settlement, you can continue on down the road and see what you find.
Cool.
The other way. All right, so it's now morning. The illumination of Sigil is starting to take hold, and as you make your way down the cobblestone road, you see that there is an elf, and he's just exiting his gate and closes it, and he looks at you guys, and he says, "Oh, hello there. Hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Are you new around here?
Oh, yes, quite new.
I've not seen one such as you before.
Yes.
What is this business upon you? You are some sort of spider."
Yes. Yes, a doctor spider of sorts.
Yeah. You've moved to the neighborhood then?
Quite new recently, yes.
Well, welcome. What house are you living in?
Thank you, thank you. We are just about to procure said house, actually. We're heading now to the real estate firm.
Aha. Oh, and which house is it? I'm excited to know.
Well,
You seem like an interesting bunch.
we're not quite sure. Dear me, does that house appear to be aflame down the street?
Why, yes. I see there's smoke. Perhaps it's coming from Davy's kitchen.
Davy? Oh.
Well, it's Davy's house down the road there, man.
Oh dear, we should alert somebody.
Well, no, it's just the kitchen, I'm sure.
Oh,
In fact, I got to tell you, it's quite a relief seeing smoke from you. I haven't heard from Davies in some time. I'm beginning to worry about him.
Oh, good. Well, I look forward to meeting Davy someday. If you may please, we have an appointment.
Oh, an appointment? Okay, well, let me not hold you up then. What's that? Sorry? All right, cheerio.
Oh, yes. That is good. Cheerio indeed.
All right, and you continue along your way, and that elf sort of just shrugs his shoulders and makes his way back into his house. He doesn't seem that concerned about the fire, because it hasn't grown to that size yet. You continue along the way, and you get to an intersection, and the road goes into 3 different ways. You can turn left, or you can turn right down more of a hill, or left up a hill.
Let's go left up the hill.
All right. So you guys begin exerting yourself and sweating as you're now walking up a hill, and this, beginning to get warm out. As you make your way up this hill, it begins to become apparent that there's a lot of trees on this road. And the houses that you walk by, the walls start to get a little higher, so you can kind of see trees over the walls. But the houses begin becoming harder and harder to see. And as you move down this road, it winds left and then winds right, and it comes up to this point where you're looking at a dead end, and the hill goes all the way up this small incline to a house at the end of the road with a rather large walls and gargoyle statues at the top of each little place, where the wall there'd be like a little tower or whatever you'd call it. The wall stops, a little gargoyle. That's sort of how it is. And there's a rather large building full of windows, but they seem closed up, darkened, can't see in them. And this gate is open. And you see inside that there are horses tied to, whatever they get tied to, and carriages and the like. And there's a figure, you can't make out what it is, standing at a front doorway with sets of stairs leading down to where the horses are.
Should we go in and ask?
What is our goal?
We have to find that House of Delights.
Perhaps we would get there sooner with horses we procure from these idiots. We take their horses. Perhaps the spider burns them as well, and we go.
A spider? Do we go in?
Well, I supplied a delightful, restful evening. The rest is your plan, my lady. Though burning a horse might be difficult, Bloodskunk.
No, we'd steal the horses, see? We'd make them ours. Let any extras leave. Then we would have steeds.
And there's no sign on the wall or anything?
Perhaps we could
Not
ride...
from this vantage point. You're at the end of the road looking towards this.
One of us could ride on the back of the cow, as needed.
All right, let's walk up.
All right.
Closer.
Being uncertain if this is the right way, and that feeling when you're walking around and you hate wasting time walking around because it's all this energy to walk somewhere. You're not sure if it's the right place. So you kind of begrudgingly make your way towards the gate. As you walk up this road and make it towards the gate, you notice that someone exits from the building and begins also walking towards the gate. And as you get to the gate, this person is human. He's got a mustache and sideburn, like long sideburns, black hair, thick and matted. And he's, wearing sort of a noble's clothes, and he looks a little out of sorts, like he's cold, and he's holding his elbows. And he walks close to you, and he's sort of got these bloodshot eyes, and he looks to you, and then he quickly looks the other way and starts walking faster.
Excuse me?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, could you tell me what that building is you just came from? We're looking for some place called the House of Delights?
I don't know what you're talking about, miss. No delights here. And he continues walking past you.
Can I roll an insight check?
Mm-hmm.
25.
Okay, your insight tells you that this person is feeling guilt or shame of some kind and concealing things from you and just doesn't want to talk to you.
Okay, hope we'll keep going then through the gate toward the big house.
Okay, you move through the gate and you see standing atop the stairs that humanoid figure that was standing there is now in vision, and you see that there's a human up there and he's dressed kind of like Styrius. He's got a nice business suit on, very modern looking, very alien for this type of area. He's standing at the top with a tie and his blazer, and he looks out towards the both of you and he goes, welcome. No mode of transportation for the both of you?
We're new to the area.
Oh, and you've just happened to wander upon the premises, I take it?
Yes? But the premises of what?
The premises of my master's abode.
Oh, pardon us then.
Yes, if you're not here to see my master, then you've definitely come to the wrong place. Perhaps if you tell me where you were headed with your companions. And he sort of slows down, he looks at your companions.
The House of Delights, actually.
Oh. And on what business do you seek out such a place?
Portal here, a portal there.
You wish to go to a House of Delights to find portals. And who sent you?
Tabachu?
Your name, please?
I love it as a question. Tabachu?
Your name, please?
Candace. Middle name Hope.
He lowers his voice and he looks at you and he says, I'm not sure why the disguise was necessary. Tabachu told us you would be coming.
Oh my god. And then she'll drop the disguise and go back to Tiefling.
There we are. I was told to expect a tiefling, and here you are. Are you ready?
Hope we'll look back at the three. We ready?
You've indeed found the House of Delights. Now, I can't take you upon your way. However, should you wish to have some delight before proceeding to wherever it is that you're going, Granston... Wait a second.
I can't wait for what this is. Granston Penny Knuckle.
I forgot what I had for the last name. All right, this is what we're going to go with. Granston Rube. I'm Granston Rube, and I am one of the impresarios of the House of Delights, where you find yourself. Please, come in. And with that, he sort of snaps his fingers, and the doors just kind of open. And there's this opulent red carpet that rolls inside, and you see these beautiful, beautiful columns of ivory into this large room with a checkerboard floor. He says, "Come on in. Come into the house. We will take good care of you. Come."
Hope enters.
All right, and the party, I assume, follows. So everyone goes in, and then he walks at your side as you make your way down this long red carpet in this giant ballroom with these large pillars in it. He goes, "Welcome to the House of Delights. There's nothing that we can't procure here for you. If you are a friend of Tabachu's, that must mean you are a friend of Means, certainly. If there's anything that I can do for you to offer you a delight, I would love to do so."
Please define delights.
"Oh, no. We do not define delights here. We provide them. What delights you, my white friend of many arrows?"
Watching mimes be tortured in front of me.
That is quite specific.
Are you familiar with a mime?
I do know about the art of mimery.
You bring a mime, you tear him limb from limb. You will find me very satisfied with your delights.
I can provide this for you. I may need some time, as it's a very specific request.
Glorious.
50,000 gold pieces for such a service.
Oh, my lord. I would like to retract my request. We don't have that kind of scratch. Never mind.
No. Oh.
I'll use my imagination. Unless I could trade you, perhaps, arrows?
You'd need quite a lot of arrows, and in spite of the impressive amount you carry upon your back, I don't believe you have enough arrows to satisfy that price.
Well,
perhaps something a little more humble. Would you like a dog to beat up?
I actually like dogs, so you can't bring me a dog to beat up, no.
Oh.
Perhaps all I need... Do you have any balloons? The long, skinny kind you can twist around and make wiener dogs from.
A balloon?
Yes.
Do they have balloons in medieval times? Is that like... Is that in the Forgotten Realms book?
They have them
I don't know if balloons were invented, but I don't think they have balloons.
Someone probably inflated a sheep's intestine.
Yeah. Make condoms and stuff. Right?
Good point. We'll go with that.
Okay, do you have sheep's intestines? Preferably very elastic ones.
You wish to inflate a sheep's intestine for your pleasure.
Yes. Yes.
This we can do. It will take a bit of time, but we do have sheep on the premises and the farm out back.
And the price...
Give us 3 hours and...
What is your price?
50 gold pieces, and we'll give you 12 sheep intestines for you to play with as much as you wish. I mean, keep in mind, it's the best... I'm not sure what the going rate is. Forgive me if it's a bit low.
Dr. Spider, I require a loan. I'll pay it back with interest.
And I do not doubt that, but it seems off the beaten path, yes?
Well, it's only for tonight. Actually, I don't know what our schedule is.
It's morning. You're here to take
shit.
a portal. And I'm offering you stuff as flavor for the experience of being in the House of Delights. But, you go ahead and knock yourself out.
Okay, this is what I'll say. All right, listen, we're in a hurry. So do you have the inflatable sheepskin at the ready? Only a bit. Just a bit of it. I don't need it.
We've got to slaughter the sheep.
Oh, well then...
We can do that now.
No, forget it. This is... You guys need a more turnkey solution to my needs. We're leaving. We're going through the portal. Forget it. I'll find other
I'm
mimes
sorry
to torture. It's fine.
Our delights are not to your measure. what we can do is we can make an appointment, and that way, at that time, we'll have all the sheep's intestines ready for you, and you may begin without impatience.
Perhaps
You are agitated now. It's not the best time when you're agitated to play with sheep's intestines.
it's fine. We have a mission to accomplish. When we return, perhaps I will dilly and dally with your sheep's intestines. But for now, no deal.
Very well. Follow me to the basement. And then he takes you to the back of the ballroom, and then there's this antechamber. It's got a piano in it. Looks like almost like a green room for the main stage. There's, tables, chairs, a little kitchen area. And he moves to a stair, this wood stairs. He says down here, and he goes down, and you enter down into a large dungeon-ass dungeon. So there's brick walls everywhere. There are weird tables and X-shaped things with ropes and belts all over the place. There's a table filled with strange implements, both wood and metal. And he walks you past them, and he says, some of our most frequent requests are for delights of the flesh. If that sort of thing is not to your taste, then please ignore it, and we'll move through here quickly. And then he continues past this room and he opens up a door, and inside this door is a room. It's a closet, and it appears to be filled full of whips of different sizes, shapes, makes, materials. It's a room entirely full of whips hanging from the sides. And then he says, in there, you may get in the closet.
Okay.
There's enough room for all of you.
Hope will walk into the closet, kind of like push some of the whips out of the way.
Yep. Sirius moves in.
All right. Dr. Spider says yes. And Bloodskunk, do you move in?
I do.
Okay. And since you're the last to move in, he hands you a carrot.
What?
What is the carrot?
What is the carrot for? This carrot will not enter my body.
The four of you will need to eat a carrot.
Oh.
Or this will not work properly. You have to have a carrot undigested in your belly.
I thought perhaps
take
you
a piece of the carrot.
Penetrate us with your carrot.
Please take a piece of the carrot, and each of you eat it.
How much of the carrot?
A fourth. 4 of you. 1/4 for each of you.
Do you have a peeler for the carrot?
No.
Gross. All right, give me my 1/4. Let's do this.
He hands you the whole carrot.
Me?
Yeah.
You first, our queen. And I'll break off a 1/4 and hand it to her.
Thank you. And Hope will eat it.
And then I will break the other 2/3, and give them around to everybody, and then I'll take mine and eat it.
Okay, now one last instruction. This is very important. Do hold on to one of the whips in this room. It will ground you. If you don't hold on to one, it may not work. I don't know what happens when you don't hold a whip, because they don't come back. All right, you all tucked in there now?
I hope we'll grab a whip.
All right, and the light gets smaller, and his face, and he closes it. He's got just his face in there. All right, stay tight. It'll all be over soon. And he locks the door, and you hear click, 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 and the door locks. There's a moment of quiet, and then you hear, all right, this one here, this one there, and this one we spread a little bit everywhere. And then as he says that, little sprinkles begin emerging from the ceiling, and then the ceiling opens up. This large mouth just kind of like goes, made of the stone. And the mouth lowers over top of you, and all the whips go flying all over the place. And this big cyclone of like air, and they're whipping you all like, ah! And then the mouth comes down and goes, and with the mouth comes down, it's not that it's eating you, it's that a whole new world just completely descends upon you, and all of a sudden you're in a world of complete shades of gray. You look everywhere, you see that the ground is made of soil. Just this dry gray soil everywhere, like dust, dirt, desert sand. And you look around and you see nothing but gray. The sky is not light, but it's not dark. It's just gray. And as you look at your hands, first this ill feeling of malaise enters all of you. Please make a Constitution saving throw, please.
19.
A 25.
A 13.
A 10.
All right. And as you look around and you observe, because everything's shades of gray, you don't see a single person or building in sight, but you do see each other. But you notice that Dr. Spider and Bloodskunk Henderson begin losing their color and begin turning gray. And they both begin to immediately get melancholy and depressed.
Oh, I need sheep's stomach to make balloons with me.
And with that, that's where we'll leave it this week on There Will Be Dungeons.
Oh my gosh. All right. Damn it. I don't know what this means for us. Are we going to come back with these characters next week? Do you know?
I think we should, but I don't want to spend too much time away from our main characters either. So we'll decide. We'll find out.
Okay. Well,
it's up to you guys. What do you know? Let me know how you feel about next week. We'll do that.
See. And now that me and Spider-Man are in peril, we got to figure something out. All right. Well, that'll do it for today's edition of There Will Be Dungeons. Come back next week and resolve this cliffhanger with us, won't you? If you have any questions or feelings or thoughts, you can contact us at the website therewillbedungeons.com. You can also go there and sign up for our Dungeons Plus membership and get great benefits for supporting the show. Thank you to everybody who already does. That will do it for us. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.